2 children in her care were taken to hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. Business groups say casual workers could be left worse off if changes are made to industrial relations laws. Under the plan, a business must offer casual workers a permanent position if they've been doing regular hours for at least a year. But businesses argue it's already offered to casual staff. Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chief Executive Andrew McKellar says unions and the government must clarify what they're trying to achieve.
This seems to be a completely fabricated narrative that's coming out of the ACTU. It's something that business rejects. We don't think that this will be good for the economy. It won't be good for employment, and it won't be good for small business.
One of today's 3 FIFA Women's World Cup matches is being played in Adelaide. Hindmarsh Stadium is hosting Brazil v Panama tonight, and there's free public transport for ticket holders. A key opponent of the Indigenous voice has taken aim at the Collingwood AFL Club for its support of the advisory body. Australians will vote on enshrining the voice in the Constitution later this year. Collingwood has previously been rocked by claims of systemic racism. Shadow Indigenous Australians Minister Jacinta Price says the team's support for the voice could be just a PR exercise.
Is it them trying to demonstrate, oh, look, we're not a racist club? I mean, there's corporates out there, there are those who are virtue signalling and saying that they support this, and it's more about their own self-interest than it is actually about, improving the lives of marginalised Indigenous Australians.
In Victoria, opposition leader John Pasuto says it's obvious something is going wrong in the negotiations between the Andrews government lawyers and the Commonwealth Games Federation. The call comes after the legal representatives returned home after being sent to London to negotiate the cost to break the Commonwealth Games agreement, but are yet to reach a resolution. A deal will now be negotiated from Australia. Mr Pasuto says the government needs to be upfront with the people of Victoria.
We do hope that prior to the return of Parliament next week, Daniel Andrews and Jacinta Allen, for the first time in this saga, do the right thing. Just be upfront and provide all of the information we as Victorians deserve. We've been through enough, we've been humiliated.
A senior public servant at the centre of the robo-debt scandal has quit her role in the Defence Department. The Royal Commission into the program was scathing of Catherine Campbell, who ran the Department of Human Services. She's recently been earning around $900,000 a year working on the AUKUS deal. Defence has confirmed it's accepted Ms Campbell's resignation. Now turning to FIVEaa sport, it's season over for Crow Nick Murray after rupturing his ACL during the club's loss to Melbourne. Scans today have confirmed the injury, which will require a reconstruction. Isaac Rankin, though, could play again this year despite injuring his left hamstring. Port Adelaide will challenge the 2-match ban offered to Willie Rioli. He's been charged with striking Collingwood's Nathan Murphy in the last quarter of Saturday night's loss. Australia have set their sights on winning the Ashes outright at the Oval, but the rain helped us retain the urn with a draw in Manchester. And injured captain Sam Kerr has watched on from the sidelines as the Matildas start their preparations to face Nigeria in the Women's World Cup. Now checking FIVEaa traffic.
Afternoon, burst water main to look out for at Ridgehaven, North East Road near Shepherd Streets. Busy to Catapult Terrace at Bartels Road. Slow for works at West Beach, Tapley's Hill Road near Sir Donald Rabbit Drive. Agate Lane closed at the moment at Goodwood Road near Rosa Street, speeds at 40. Cameras, Chandler's Hill Road, Happy Valley, and Cudmore Terrace at Henley Beach. My Car Tyre and Auto, the tyre and auto experts that put people first. Call 13 13 28 or visit mycar.com.au to find your nearest store. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEaa.
Now the FIVEaa forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Cloudy this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow 16, sunny on Wednesday 17, showers developing Thursday also 17. Right now it's 13 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
You can trust 9 News is live and local, while others do their news from Melbourne. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide. Weeknights at 5.
First in Adelaide's 9 News at 5.
Nightly at 6.
And the unprecedented police operation.
We go to some breaking news now, and crews are right now at the scene.
And that's why the switch is on to 9 News.
The FIVEaa Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
The siren goes. It's a heartbreaker for Adelaide. The finals hopes may be buried right here.
Collingwood kick. They're going to win. There goes the siren. The comeback Kings have done it again. They just cannot be beaten. And these Pies are building something special. They win by 2.
It is 5 after 4. Yeah, 2 devastating losses for our footy teams, but it only sets up for an even spicier showdown week. Rowie still on the sick list as I welcome with great pleasure Timmy Ginniver.
Yes, hello Sam. I'll tell you what, hit it.
Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why we don't like Mondays. God, Crows go down by 4 points. They lose Rankin with a hammy. Murray's just done his ACL. Port went down by 2 points after being 3-goal up. Rioli's out for 2 and Rowie's still crook. I don't like Mondays.
Stop it.
Oh dear, I tell you what, we will give you the chance. 82230000. Get on that unique Homestyle Foods text line as well. And just vent your spleen, go for it. Just let us know what your thoughts are on the weekend. It was 2 devastating losses. I mean, I love the way the Crows kept coming back. Port Adelaide, I thought, really took it up to the league ladder leader and nearly stole the one there. But I think they'll get a lot of confidence out of the chance to win. I'm still shattered by the loss because I felt like it was an opportunity missed. But it certainly says if you play like that, you're going to win a lot of games. So leading into an important final series. Well, I'll tell you what, bit glass half full too. Here's Ken Hinkley on the loss.
You know, I was incredibly proud of the game. Yes, I'm bitterly disappointed, and the team's bitterly disappointed with a small margins loss. But we'll learn a fair bit, I reckon. I think we'll learn a fair bit from that.
Yeah, and that's the thing about that. We got Nathan Bassett on the show later on. It's not only the players maybe learning a bit out of it. I want to know what the coaches got out of it. What did they get out of it? They thought, well, yeah, maybe if we had pulled that lever a bit quicker or we had done this a bit differently, perhaps they've also had some learnings from their second venture out against Collingwood because you couldn't learn a lot from the first one. That was a drubbing. Yeah. So you go, well, let's go back to the drawing board on that one, which they have since, and of course played some pretty good footy in between. Of course, it was a cracking game. If you were an unbiased, neutral supporter watching the game, you'd go, oh, that's a cracking game. And I got that feedback from a lot of mates who aren't Port Barrackers or Collingwood supporters, and they said it was a cracking game. And, well, I think the coach of Collingwood agreed.
I thought it was an outstanding game. Credit to Ken and the boys. That was the best game that we've been involved in this year, and maybe in the last couple of years. The contest, I love the build up to it. Like, please don't squash that. I love the banter and the theatre of footy. We shouldn't get precious about comments. I wasn't. I got great respect for Ken. Enormous respect for Ken. I think the theatre of footy, we should embrace it. Allow Braden Maynards to just be himself, be authentic. What's wrong with that? Like, that's just him. Well, why would we put that in the box? Go, oh, we better not say that because that might fire the opposition up. Like, come on. Still got to bounce the ball and get to work. So I love that build-up and the anticipation for this game.
Excellent. Well said. I've got no problem with it. As a player, I just would have reminded him of it on the night when he got tackled on the ball in the forward 50. I said, that's all part of the theatre and what's not. But it was that stuff, for me, I love it.
It was brilliant.
That's great. I'll tell you what I don't like is when something happens on the field and then people get on social media and do stupid things afterwards. Now, firstly, this is probably what fired it up. It was the Rioli incident in which he's been given 2 bans at the moment. Here's Ken Hinkley on that.
Nothing in it. I mean, surely. I mean, I've looked at it as a hand slipping up, open hand. I always say, let them take care of it and they'll have a look at it if it needs to be looked at. But I have actually seen that one, so I can say that it would, look, I see a lot worse things happen.
Yeah, so MRO disagreed, gave him 2 weeks. That Port Adelaide are going to be challenging.
How did you see it?
I saw it. It's a bit like Rochelle in that it's the act of striking, even though it's an open hand and the like. And I swore that Nathan Murphy got hit by Mike Tyson in the Hangover movie.
The way he fell.
The way he fell. I thought, oh, man, he must have knocked him out over the scoreboard. But besides that, which is, you're trying to get a free kick, I get that as well. The theatrics of it. It just looked like the Rochelle one for me, so I knew he's probably in trouble. If they can get it down to 1 or something like that, well done. So they're challenging, and we'll see how that goes. But Nathan Murphy and also Craig McRae, they saw the aftermath and the horrible racist comments that came out afterwards, and this was their response.
Obviously, we don't want this in our game. To Willie, if you're out there, mate, we apologise, and I'd love to put my arms around him. So it's just not okay.
Some people didn't even bother to go underneath pseudonyms or anonymous accounts. They just went out with their own names and their own businesses and things like that. It's just ridiculous.
It's disgusting.
For me, anybody that gets online and does those racist comments, for me, it's just pathetic. It's unintelligent, and it's not okay in any way ever. Get that, full stop, done. Sick of talking about it. I'm sick of it happening. So, cut it out. The Crows loss. Matthew Nicks, well, he was proud of an effort that wasn't just one effort. It was like 3 or 4 times they came back from big margins down.
We just never give up. That's what makes me so proud of our group, is they just don't give up. I think it was 2 or 3 times it looked like the game was done, and we just kept coming, and we got back to even, and then again, it looks like it's done again, but we're still coming. So execution in the end is what has cost us the game in front of goal, and then a little bit of execution of our game plan and being brave when we had to be under some really strong pressure from our opposition.
Yeah, there were several times I felt like Melbourne were going to take this right away, but the way they were able to just claw their way back into it, and in the end, lose by 4 points was just amazing. It does set it up for another great showdown, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And both teams, unfortunately, there's a couple of outs that are going to happen, but the captain, who I thought, again, just always plays well, Dawson spoke about Rankin's nasty hammy.
Yeah, he's devastated. I think he was probably the difference yesterday. Him and Cozzy were very lively in both forward lines, and yeah, he's just disappointed. I think it's something that he's had over the course of his career as well with that same hamstring. So he's been playing really well for us this year, and yeah, I think knowing that he's probably going to be out for a week or 2 at least. So yeah, he's disappointed, but we'll wrap our arms around him and he'll be right.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, when he was talking about that, we've since found out that Nick Murray's scans have revealed that he's done an ACL. So he's out for, obviously, the rest of the year and starts the road to recovery, just like Tom Doedee.
So the Crows' backline's been battered and bruised all the way through the year. An ACL for Tom Doedee. That means we're only going to see him halfway through next year. Same for Nick Murray toward probably the back end next year. That we've seen, obviously, Jordan Butts suffer from concussion and a few other players as well down the back. So they've all absolutely copped it this year, and it might present an opportunity for maybe a young player to come through in the next week or 2 and make a debut.
Well, yeah, I think their opportunities are there, as we saw a very late debut by Nankervis on the weekend, which was terrific, and hopefully we might be able to get hold of either his mum or his dad, because
what a journey.
They had actually driven over to Adelaide. And they were going to watch him play in the Sandful, and then, he's playing back in Melbourne where we come from. So
hop on a flight.
They had to dart back and get there to see the game there. So hopefully they got there and it was all okay. But what it does do, this game, the showdown, becomes so important for both teams. Adelaide hanging in there with the chance of making finals, and Port, who want to hang on to second spot, so they get the first home final.
There's a lot of teams around that top 8 that are pushing. So, yeah, we know the reality is we've got to win, and yeah, we still want to play finals, so we just got to make sure we win this week and go from there.
Yeah, so it's going to be a huge game once again. Adelaide's home game. The first one was a cracker, about the last 15 minutes when the Crows took it away from Port. Port will be stinging from the memory of that, but also the loss to Collingwood, so they know how important it is. So looking forward to a cracking game once again, and we'll be there. Don't worry. Well, Stephen Rowe, be back, you reckon?
He will. We're hoping he'll be back early this week. Hopefully tomorrow is the aim. But he's suffered. He's had basically a voice loss over the last 4 days. He's been that unwell. So he's recovering very well, as we've heard. Hopefully back tomorrow.
Larry the larynx. Starting to get him very well. I suppose, this is a bit of a bittersweet one. We retain the Ashes. Did we? Yeah.
No, you have to be happy with that.
It's a fairy clap.
As an Aussie?
It's a fairy clap, but did we retain them well? Did we retain them convincingly? Probably not. And look, I think the skipper, Paddy Cummins, thinks the same.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. I think, as a group, proud that we've retained the Ashes. But it's, off the back of not our greatest week. It feels like good that we've won the Ashes, retained the Ashes, but we know we've got a fair bit of work to do for next week.
Yes, that they do. I reckon, personally, they've got to now, now that pressure's off that you've retained the Ashes, they've got to get their head down and really get a convincing win in the 5th test.
Yeah.
Because then you can walk away and say, look, cry all you like about the washed out test. We've won 3-1. So do what you like and have a sook. Now, I believe one of the big sooks from England, Piers Morgan, he's had a bit of a...
He's copping it.
He's had a sook.
He's absolutely copping it. He tweeted famously 10 years ago, in fact, during the 2013 Ashes in Manchester, would you believe it, where England led 2-0. Australia were having a really good dip in the 3rd test, a chance to win, and then it rained out the rest of the day 5, and Australia couldn't win the test to keep them in it, and that meant England retained the Ashes. Piers Morgan was tweeting out on those days all about how great it was that the rain was pouring down, and it was a fantastic thing. Well, anyway, he's been the biggest sook of all over in the UK the last couple of days, and he tweeted this morning, FFS, has there ever been a less deserved retention of the Ashes? From the Bairstow debacle to this rain-soaked fiasco, it's an absolute farce that smirking Australia have ended up with the urn still in their hands. England comfortably the better side, as this test showed. Gutting.
You know what I'd do? Hey, Piers, do you want to have a look at the little urn? Buy a ticket to Sydney, mate.
Yeah. 4
last
series
train
in a
out of
row.
Sydney. Get over. That's the only way you're going to see it, mate, because it's not staying there. That's now a decade that they haven't been able to have the urn. Take that, Piers. Take that. Look, amazingly, sometimes I love Ben Stokes' answers in press conferences and the like. Now, he was in the press conference, obviously disappointed, but he was asked, look, is it more disappointing after playing so well?
Then obviously massively frustrating that you played so well this week and were denied the chance to level the series by the rain. But is it a bigger disappointment that you found yourselves 2-0 down in the first place and left yourself such a big job over the last 3 tests?
No, not really.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, that's one of those classics.
Come on.
When you're a journalist and you're asking the questions and you get one stopped answer like that, it just ruins the whole thing. So I did like that, but it just shows how disappointed they are. I think the whole thing turned for me when they put Woods and Wokes into the team. I think that changed the whole dynamic.
It has.
They really upset our batsmen. We haven't been able to make enough runs in that top 4. It continued again, even with Marnus making that 100. We still, have those failures that just as a collective don't get the runs that you probably need.
And the captaincy of Pat Cummins is in full focus now too, I think.
It has been, and I think it's a difficult task. Everybody knew that when you're a bowler, but made harder by the loss of Nathan Lyon, and I think the fact of not being able to have enough courage to pull the trigger on a few selections.
Correct.
Michael Neser, for mine, has to come into the 5th test. We'll see the difference when he plays, and it'll be one of those moments where you go, why didn't we do that earlier? I can just sense it. Look, give us a call, 8223 0000. We'll have Cornsey on, we'll have Treaders on. We're going to, who else are we going to have?
Riley Thilthorpe's on the show
Nathan
tonight.
Bassett's going to come on.
Yeah.
So we'll get a real good insight into what happened on the weekend, but give us your thoughts. Like I said, I reckon just take it out on me. Take it out on me. Vent your spleen, throw your toys out, spit your dummies, do whatever you like. Tell us, and if you're Collingwood or Melbourne, give us a ring and gloat about how good you are.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it. No dramas at all.
$50 Pals voucher. Absolutely right. We've got the prize tonight. You can get on board 8223 0000. And we've also on tonight's show and during the week got tickets to Showdown 54. We've got a double to give away tonight.
Oh, that's good.
And so that's going to be happening some point before 7 o'clock. So keep your ears tuned in because you do not want to miss that. It's going to be a huge game on Saturday night. 18 after 4. Get to your calls very shortly.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. 5AA's Weekend of Footy, thanks to EcoVantage. Install an energy-efficient heat pump with EcoVantage. Pump your energy bills down. EcoVantage.com.au.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
It's Cyber Safety Awareness Month at Harvey Norman. For a limited time, they're giving away a free $50 cyber safety voucher that you can use towards any cybersecurity product. Use your voucher for the Norton 360 Premium, a 1-year subscription for one device, or the Trend Micro Device Security Pro. The best part? You can get either of these premium cybersecurity products for $0 with the voucher. It's more important than ever to safeguard your digital life, whether you're browsing the web, shopping online, or accessing your favourite social media platforms. Protect yourself and your devices with industry-leading cybersecurity solutions Hurry, this fantastic deal ends on August 17th. Take control of your online safety today by visiting Harvey Norman.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
G'day, it's Rory Sloane. Good leaders always look to support local. Like Leader Computers, Australia's largest Australian-owned PC manufacturer, based right here in South Australia. Having a world-class manufacturer of computers is a big win for our state, providing jobs and local support you simply can't get from overseas companies. For the latest Intel and Microsoft-based computers at great pricing with the huge benefit of local support, find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
I'm here to tell you, when you build with Lamar Homes, things can happen pretty quickly. And we're talking months, not years, or, you've been waiting forever, or what's happening. Well, Lamar Homes are they're big on quality, so they never take on too much. And that means they can manage their workload and trades more efficiently. So this makes them nimble enough to move quicker on everything about your home. It's really important, which also means you won't have to be waiting forever to live the dream. How good is that? Now, right now at Lamar Homes, this is brilliant. They're throwing $35,000 at you for concreting, landscaping and fencing. That's $35,000 of extras to move in sooner. How good's that? That is the best thing going around. Can't believe it. It's brilliant. To get started, visit lamarhomes.com.au. That's spelled Lamar, homes.com.au. Here today, home tomorrow, sooner. Some terms and conditions apply.
Don't just send it, ace it.
I'm with Chris from ASIC Couriers, an SA family business, doing great things for your business.
Thanks, Rowie. Our drivers all undergo intensive training and the ASIC compliance team regularly audit our fleet. Plus, we use the latest satellite technology to track your deliveries. No matter what it is, we can deliver it safely and on time. Visit asiccouriers.com.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
Ken Hall Plumbers. We're local, we're family, and we're a trusted South Aussie. Blocked drain? Leaky tap? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers. 8364 5855. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
22 after 4, Rowie on the sick list, the Savo, Timmy G in the chair. Cornsey after 4:30, 8223 0000. We'll get to your calls in a moment. $50 Pals voucher to give away for the best caller of the night. Rossdale Homes are the custom home 2-story split level specialist. Let's check your roads.
Afternoon, Bert. What am I to look out for at Richhaven, North East Road near Shepherd Street? Busy the Parade at Glenburn Road, also Grange Road at Findon Road. Got lane closed at Hinton, West Lakes Boulevard near Morley Road, and slow for new bitumen that's gone down South Road at Edwardstown, just near Bunnings. Cameras Davenport Terrace, Richmond, and Frederick Road at Grange. Never compromise the performance of your BMW with full vehicle servicing from $298 at Glenelg BMW. T's and C's apply. LMCT 8953. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Well, Sam, on the weekend, the Adelaide Crows had a bout of, illness go through the group, and there was people coming out left, right and centre, and young Luke Nankervis got to make his debut. What you didn't know was that his parents were coming over to have a look at him play in Adelaide, and we got the father on the line, Paul Nankervis. G'day, Paul.
Hey, guys. How you going?
Good. Can you tell us about how all the events unfolded?
Oh, sure. Well, really, we'd planned to go over to watch Luke play, and we left on the Thursday. And
by car?
Probably learnt, in the car.
Right.
Yeah, we like to drive over, take the caravan, and we stay on the beach side and then enjoy the beach.
Nice.
And catch up with Luke a little bit and then watch him play and head back home. So we try and do it as often as we can, and we've been enjoying doing that.
Yeah.
But so we just set off, and Thursday morning early, and Luke rang us late in the afternoon and told us what was going down, and so we then sort of we'd already arrived in Adelaide, so we stayed with him for a couple of days, and thought, well, we're going to have to head home again, and off we set on Saturday morning to head back to Melbourne to see whether he was going to play. We didn't know at that stage he would play. He was a travelling emergency, so we've just learnt just to roll with it, and we're very good friends, or we're good friends with the Vizentini, so we saw what happened to Dante and them, so we didn't want that to happen to us.
Yeah, that was a bit rushed indeed. I was going to say, mate, you should have thrown Luke into the back of the van, mate, taken him back with you.
Oh, you can't do that. We were happy to, but, what would you prefer, travel with us or travel with a team on an airplane? I don't know.
Oh, what a classic. I thought you might have had to catch a plane and then get back in time and all the rest of it. So you had enough notice to get back in the car and head back.
Yeah, we didn't know. We didn't find out he was playing till the morning of the game.
Wow.
He was only ever the emergency, but we just didn't want to risk that being in Adelaide or anything, and we weren't going to get to see him play in Adelaide anyway, so there was no point staying.
So, did you enjoy his debut? I thought he was outstanding.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we had a wonderful day. Take away the loss. We couldn't have asked for anything more. We were really well looked after, and it was just wonderful to see Luke so relaxed and really embracing the day. He'd been waiting for a long time, and after the first quarter, where we could see that he was able to execute and do his stuff, we were just wrapped for him.
No, brilliant. Well, hitch up the trailer, mate. Get over for the big one this weekend.
Funny you say that, because we are coming across again, so we've done a bit of travelling.
Brilliant, mate. Keep the freaking flyers going, or the freaking driver licence.
Yeah, that's right. If there was some, we would, just clocking up a lot of Ks on the car.
I was going to say, tell him to give you some petrol money at least.
You're kidding.
Spoken like a true dad.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Paul Nankervis, thank you very much for your time, mate.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course, the father of Luke Nankervis making his debut very late, travelling emergency, and I'm glad they got back for it just in time.
Glad they had the time as well. That's a good heads up.
Absolutely brilliant. We got Ronnie on the line. G'day, Ronnie.
How you going, matey?
Good, buddy.
I want to just ask you your thoughts on the guys lining up from 55 metres, taking their 30 seconds, and then sitting up at the top of the goal square.
Yeah, Ronnie. They haven't called anybody for the 30-second rule since Charlie Dixon got called at Geelong. Do you remember that?
That's right.
Now, that's got to be about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I think it was just shocking, like Todd Viney lined up for 55, took 30 seconds off the clock, and you could see he was going to put it to the top of the square.
Yeah. No, you're right. They're doing it on purpose. And you know what? Players and coaches, they're all very smart. They'll know that things are not happening, so they'll take advantage of it. So, no, good call, Ronnie.
On the AFL, they'll be putting in the rule change there very soon, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. Add it to the list. Good on you, Ronnie. Thanks for that. A couple of great unique Homestyle Foods texts coming through. Nicky, not too happy, guys. Nick Murray out with the ACL for 12 months. Isaac Rankin torn hamstring 2 to 3 weeks. Rory Sloane apparently he's got a bad calf for a couple of weeks as too. So he reckons that that's not good for the rest of the season. Timmy, Geelong minor round heroes against the Hawks but fail in finals. Port will get Collingwood when it counts. Clarkey. Thanks for the confidence, Clarkey. Timmy, where to now for the Crows? Now they can't make the 8. Well, they've got to, for mine, still try to get 2 or 3 wins out of these last 5. Try and get 2 or 3 wins. Yep. Finish the season on that high, and you go, that's the improvement probably we were looking for. Another 3 wins.
Yeah. So you got the Gold Coast, you got the Showdown, obviously. You've got Brisbane at the Gabba, Sydney, and then West Coast in West Coast.
So you get 3 wins out of that.
Yeah.
You go, that's an 11-game winning season from 8. If you stay on 8, no, that's not great. That's not the advancement you need. So go for 11 and then aim for that following year. Guys, if Fogarty kicks that goal with 2.44 minutes to go in the last quarter, Crows probably win. Yeah, it's the old if buts and candy nuts and the like, but he's normally a great kick, and it only sort of just faded to the left, didn't it, late in that term? Yep. So a bit unlucky there. And Mark, a Port Tragic, says, look, take heart, Power fans. While Collingwood won a cracking game, they are beatable. Their freakish high percentage of goals from the boundary line cannot be relied upon. Well, it has so far. He said, anyway, bring on the Crows on Saturday night. Should be an absolute cracker.
We love that. 29 minutes after 4. Keep your interaction coming. We will take more of your calls very shortly. Graham Corns to join us after the 4:30 headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
Talking about wait times to see specialists, and we've been contacted by a GP who understandably would like to remain anonymous.
It's really frustrating.
Informing Adelaide.
I don't know what's the reason behind it. Probably less number of specialists in the public hospital system. If you're going privately, there's a huge gap to pay.
It's a mess by any description. No, what country are we totally unacceptable.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. There's another case of meningococcal disease in SA, the fourth in a week. A 55-year-old man is in hospital in a stable condition. One of today's 3 FIFA Women's World Cup matches is being played in Adelaide. Hindmarsh Stadium is hosting Brazil v Panama tonight. A senior public servant at the centre of the robo-debt scandal has quit her role in the Defence Department. And in sport, it is season over for crone Nick Murray after rupturing his ACL. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Crash to look out for at Ashford at the moment, Anzac Highway near the hospital. Richhaven, Perth Watermain, North East Road near Shepherd Streets. Busy the Parade at Glenburn Road, also Grange Road at Findon Road, and slow going for works at Hendon Lane close there. West Lakes Boulevard near Morley Road. Cameras, Garden Terrace, Lockleys, and Grant Scully Road at Chandler's Hill. Hurry into Chemist Warehouse to get Swiss Ultiboost Sleep 100 tablets for $18.99. Shop in-store, online today. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy tonight down to 6, partly cloudy tomorrow 16. Right now it's 13 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a 4-drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each terrain tamer 4-drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the terrain tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
When you're gone, who gets the things most precious to you? Like your highly valued comic book collection or your 1976 Tirana in mint condition. If you don't have a will, you'll never know. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Now, I've told you this before, especially when you're on the barbecue, Sam. You don't just do a barbecue. You've got to become a tong master.
You do.
You've got to flip snags, earn the title of the Backyard Hospitality Director.
You do.
How's that for a title? You even get an apron with it on. So if you do this, you deserve the very best outdoor kitchen. Of course, none other than Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. They are the place to get it. Now, you can match it with a bar, fridge, pizza oven, you name it. But it's their custom-made concrete bench tops that really top it off. Now, they do indoor concrete bench tops as well. These handmade bench tops can really update any kitchen space, and they are custom made for you. Exactly every piece is unique to you and your kitchen. Now call for a consultation or quote today, or visit the Seaford Meadows showroom at Farrow Circuit. They are the best backyard hospitality directors. Choose Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. All you got to do is go to adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated, because it's personal.
Thinking of painting and don't know where to start?
We do, because we know paint at Crowe's.
So, visit Crowe's. And while you're there, join Crowe's Club to get 10% off everything.
We know paint at Crowe's.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It is 26 minutes to 5. Warren Trudray to join us after 5 o'clock. We've also got Riley Thilthorpe and Nathan Bassett on the program. They're all coming up soon. But you can hop on the Foodland live stream. We're on Facebook and YouTube because Graham Corns has arrived. All thanks to BL Shipway, a South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years.
Corns is out there, and this fellow literally pulling Torrens apart.
Graham Studley Corns.
Wow, your memory's good, Cornsy. Do you remember that one?
It was just after I came back from Melbourne, so was that was at Footy Park one day.
79.
Yeah.
Were you a bit angry?
No, I wasn't angry. I was just thankful to be able to get back into it.
Yeah.
And
were you comfortable?
and then we had a state game 2 weeks after I came back, and Curls for some reason put me in the state team, so that sort of helped me slip back in. He was really good like that. But John Halbert was our coach at that time. So
did you not have a carnival at the end of that season?
Yeah,
79?
End of season.
And you won the medal for the overall.
The following year.
That
79 one was in Perth, and
right.
And the next one was in Adelaide. So
right.
So anyway, it was worked out okay.
Still playing good football. Hey, who's sick of honourable losses? Me.
Yeah,
I don't like them.
Now, this is an honourable loss, clearly.
Yes.
Above Port Adelaide. It's not Port Adelaide.
No.
Well, that was an honourable loss too.
But Adelaide.
Adelaide, Melbourne, it was an honourable loss. But how many honourable losses do we need to have? They've gone down to Collingwood twice by less than a goal.
I think you've had enough.
Gone down to Melbourne.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Port Adelaide.
I'm with you.
So how do you handle this as a coach? Do you say, well done, boys? Do you keep picking them up and patting them on the backside and encourage them, or do you really say, look, I've had enough of this? I've had enough of this. There's times in this games where you guys let me down, So there's a balance between picking them up and then crushing them with criticism. And I stood on it. The old school,
is where you're going.
Hits them behind, and the great coaches would have done it. The great coaches, the Jack Odeys.
Is it precarious though, where Adelaide are at?
Yeah.
Is it precarious that you don't want them falling off a cliff here and just finishing the season with no wins? You need them to get 3 more wins, Graham.
Well, they should be incented. They should be motivated enough to get. They're so close to knocking off a couple of these good teams. They're so close.
But a few things are happening now that could get in the psyche of the players that you don't want them dropping their confidence levels. You've got a really serious injury to Nick Murray now. Rankin's out.
You've got Murray, Rankin. Rochelle still misses the
game because
the
of
showdown.
Yeah.
So, but it's more of a team thing where it comes down to silly. Look, you could say Melbourne relaxed. You could say that Melbourne relaxed and the Crows got a run on and bang. It's hard to get, but Melbourne were able to get their momentum back again. Then you get a couple of very dodgy umpiring decisions. Look, the umpiring has been bad for both Port Adelaide and the Crows this year. It's not so much the free kicks you give away, because they're generally there.
Yep,
the free kick, but it's the same ones you don't get. Now, in that last quarter, Lockie Murphy got smashed, got driven into the ground from behind, and it's clearly a free kick. No free play on.
Yeah.
Goes down the other end. Jack Viney does the same thing, and it's a free kick. So that's always been my point. And
does that come with the hometown crowd?
No.
Do you reckon umpires get influenced by the noise?
Not here at Adelaide Oval. Not since 1970. Not since 1991 when Ron Jamieson kicked that goal after the Sirens against Fitzroy. The umpires resist this noise of affirmation. I'm convinced, and you can all the Victorians say I'm a whinging South Australian, and even my own mates say stop whinging, but it's not right. It is just not right.
See, a mate of mine always says, "Good teams beat umpires."
Yeah, well, you've got it.
And there's a bit in that. There is a bit in that, because I find when you are battling that sometimes those things just don't go your way. And you've written here, do we really want to be known as a team of battlers? Because I felt like you were elevating yourself above that this season. Do you feel like it's gone back to that?
There's been moments, and I've looked at it. The next note I've got. But do we want to be known as a team of battlers? Yes, it's a good accolade to be given.
That you never give in, you have a crack.
Never give in, this is a team of battlers. But I don't want to be a team of battlers. I want to be an elite team. I want to be one of the best teams in the competition. And why not? Why can you not aspire to that? Look.
There was times that you've shown that, I think, this season.
Nixie says we're proud of never giving up. And that's fine. You go right to the wire. But can you put yourself in a position where you can you don't have to stop. You can maintain your momentum and win easily in your own right against these good teams. Now, I don't know. I've asked the question here: are we close to being good, or are we deluding ourselves? Are we close to being good?
You always
as a Crows.
You put that horrible spin on it. I love the first line. Are we close to being good?
Are we close? I'd end
it there. Are we close to being good? I think yes. Or you're saying you look like I'm deluding myself.
Look, running a footy club and in the AFL comes with a lot of hype. It's a lot of propaganda. You put the propaganda. No one's been better at propaganda than Port Adelaide. You Port Adelaide crowd.
Thank you.
You just get it out there, so we can, spread the word. We are a good team. We're not far away. Keep doing this. We're going to be a good team. We're going to be a great team. There's a certain amount of delusion in that.
Okay.
Because
tell me why.
Yes, our forwards. I'll say our.
You have to.
Excuse me. Forwards are elite.
You have got very good.
We've got elite forwards. Josh Riccioli is missing. Isaac Rankin goes down, so that diminishes.
Hurts it now.
Hurts it a little bit. The mids are average.
It's probably an area that you definitely need an injection of.
Dawson is good, but look, the mids are average. The defence is average. Look, and probably.
I think they've played well this year, though, hanging on in a lot of games.
Nick Murray goes down.
That hurts.
That hurts a lot.
Definitely.
So the ruck, we can't say rucks because it's ruck.
Yeah.
Is honest.
Yeah.
He's honest, but he's not great. He's not a real weapon. He tries hard. Doesn't take a lot of marks. Doesn't kick many goals. So I don't think we are that good.
Okay.
So it needs to be a. It needs to be.
The delusion continues.
Yeah. Well, do Crows fans disagree?
Well, get on the line. Talk to Cornsey, 8223
Are we good?
Form is never linear. We know that, isn't it? Just because you're good this year doesn't mean you're going to be good next year.
No, that's very true.
Experience can be lost if.
But hang on. Let's. This is 4 years now. We understand what happened, and we understand they bottomed out, and then it's a slow build. But when you want to contend for the 8, which every team should be doing, you've got to be good.
Yeah, well, that's where I see this next 5 games is vital that you get 3 wins, because I think you need to show the progression so that the belief continues in what you're doing.
So they've got winnable games. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
The Showdown's interesting.
It is. Oh, absolutely. It is very interesting. Exactly what you're saying. It always is. Let's face that. I've seen both clubs win when they shouldn't. Yeah. When they're lower on the table and the like. But this one for me, it really matches up well. Probably the sore point for Adelaide is the injuries. That's probably the point that's coming out of today, unfortunately.
It's a Crows home showdown, so the crowd will be there.
Yes.
It'll be big, but it's not as though Port Adelaide are going to be complacent. Sometimes you can catch a team when they're complacent. You can jump them and you can maintain that momentum and keep them under control for most of the game. But Port Adelaide are not going to be complacent after. Well, you wouldn't think, though. I think they would be, given the fact that this was a game on the weekend that slipped away from them. So, again, you're right, Tim. It's 50-50 in any showdown. But I think given no Riccioli, no Murray, no Rankin, that does make...
Yeah, they're big names, aren't they?
So we've got who comes in for Murray?
Yes. Because... you subbed out Jordan Butts,
correct,
I think, on the weekend. So tactical sub. So
well,
he'd have to come back in the lineup.
He has to stay.
Yeah,
he has to stay in the lineup. And now he's very one-dimensional, Jordan. I don't want to be critical of him, but he doesn't give you much attack. Nick Murray was just. I think that was the best half of footy he played.
Yeah,
and then he does his knee. I mean, you just can't win a trick, but he was just looking like
he's going to be your centre-back for a long time.
An intercept defender, one of these really good intercept defenders, but he does his knee. So he comes back in. I want to see the Irishman.
You do?
I want to see the Irishman.
Yeah. Mark Kane.
Well, look, you've got a couple of others. You've got Ball Ace there.
Well, I've watched a fair bit of Sample footy this year. I would say James is the pick of the defenders week in, week out. Very consistent.
Is it James or Jace?
James Ball Ace. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like he's probably worth a look at. And I think here's the opportunity to do it. And now, Showdown's a big one to make your debut in, no doubt about that. And you probably don't want to match him up on Charlie Dixon, but...
I've seen him in trial games only. I haven't seen much in the sample, just a little bit. He's got good hands.
Definitely his best season this year.
I haven't seen much of his attacking flair, if he's got any of that. But he really deserves a chance.
I think so.
There's something about the Irishman. He's quick.
He's quick,
and he's got a good leg. So maybe there's a couple of weapons there that can be used.
Yeah. because you're going to have to. There's a few gaps to fill now, isn't there, for your lineup and the midfield. I really liked it. It appeared to me that Rankin was playing a lot higher than what he normally did, and he was able to get to some clearances and make a real impact on those.
Well, he did. He wasn't pivotal in the midfield, but he did play high. But Matty Crouch and Harry Schonberg made a big difference to that midfield. Yeah, Matty Crouch he looked to me a class above the rest.
He just fitted straight back in, didn't he?
He didn't waste the ball, which has probably been a criticism that's been levelled at him before. He gave the handball quickly. He got the ball on. He moved it on quickly. He didn't stop and look around and wonder what do I do with the ball. Now he moved it on. And
he's a seasoned campaigner.
And
well, best and fairest, an All-Australian. He knows how to play.
Well, there's a unique Homestyle Foods text here saying, ask Cornsey, please, why Crouch isn't in every game. Ball magnet and has good hands, as you've been saying.
Well, he just... I mean, I know we were watching a bit more closely, and this was his chance to come back in, but it was seamless. It was like he'd never been, and it was as good as he'd played. So I think he'd stay there. And Harry Schonberg, yes, they worry sometimes about his disposal, and he's not always, but I like him. Luke Pedlow took his place there for a while, but I think Harry might be coming back into favour.
He's wild about Harry.
It's 14 minutes to 5. We'll get to your calls after the break. 8223 0000. Cornsey's willing to chat all and everything footy. Let's check your traffic.
At Ashford, there's a crash Anzac Highway near the hospital. Richhaven, Burstwater Main, North East Road near Shepherd Streets, and busy the parade at Glenburn Road. Also seeing a fair bit of traffic, Grange Road at Findon Road, and we're slow for works at West Beach, Tapley's Hill Road near St Donald Rabbit Drive, speeds at 40. Cameras, Happy Valley Drive, Happy Valley, and Lander Road at Trott Park. Get more vroom for less at Big W. Nutribullet 1000 series for $149. Save $20 while stocks last at Big W. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Don't just send it, ace it.
It's not just your deliveries that ASIC Couriers look after. They're also proud supporters of the community. Chris, tell us more.
That's right, Rowie. At ASIC Couriers, we're proud supporters of over 16 sporting clubs. We also work with and support the Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation to strive for a happy and positive workplace. By supporting us, you're also supporting the community.
Don't just send it, ace it.
As we all know, SA is going through a housing crisis right now, but McGain Real Estate really want to help. If you're a landlord looking to sell your property, but you're feeling a bit guilty about disrupting an awesome tenant, McGain have landlords ready to purchase your property and keep that tenant in place. The team at McGain have hundreds of landlords ready to buy investment properties, so there's no need to stress about asking the tenant to move out or waiting for the lease to end. Visit mcgain.com.au.
Now, look, if you're close to it, you've just finished building your dream home, well, congratulations, well done, but it's not really complete until you get a stunning driveway or a picture-perfect path around the new castle, so it looks a beautiful little
My neighbour's done
place.
this, and
They have?
I'm so envious.
Yeah.
It
It would have been with Adelaide Exposed Concrete, of course.
Definitely. It looks fantastic.
Well, that's the thing, though. You even catch tradies taking selfies with them. The service, the communication, the workmanship, everything you do is first class there. And look, if your current driveways and paths and all that are pretty average, been, over the years, I've had a crane on mine, cracked them, into pieces. Well, you got to fix it up. Just give the super friendly team at Adelaide Exposed Concrete a call and they'll replace them and make them look beautiful. I've got a path that actually goes to nowhere because there used to be a little gate there, and that's what my friend calls it, the path to nowhere. Why does that path go down there? Well, it's damaged. I'm going to get Adelaide Exposed Concrete to fix it. Now, whether it's a stunning exposed aggregate driveway, paths around the house, patios in your shed, who knows? Don't worry about it. Get in touch with Adelaide Exposed Concrete. They're best on ground all year round. AdelaideExposedConcrete.com.au.
Cold mornings. A nice hot shower. If your hot water stops, give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers, your local plumbers since 1983. Hot water replacement? Give Ken a call. 8364 5855.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
It's Cyber Safety Awareness Month at Harvey Norman. For a limited time, they're giving away a free $50 cyber safety voucher that you can use towards any cybersecurity product. Use your voucher for the Norton 360 Premium, a 1-year subscription for one device, or the Trend Micro Device Security Pro. The best part? You can get either of these premium cybersecurity products for $0 with the voucher. It's more important than ever to safeguard your digital life, whether you're browsing the web, shopping online, or accessing your favourite social media platforms. Protect yourself and your devices with industry-leading cybersecurity solutions. Hurry, this fantastic deal ends on August 17th. Take control of your online safety today by visiting Harvey Norman.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It is 10 minutes to 5. Treat us to join us after 5 o'clock. Rowie still on the sick list here, hopeful back tomorrow. Cornsy's here for BL Shipway. And just before we get to your calls, 822 300 call in now on the competition line. We have a family pass to the Caravan and Camping Show this weekend, Thursday to Sunday, the Adelaide Showgrounds. It's a fantastic event. So 822 300 call in now.
Well, I tell you what, we've got Graham Corns with us, thanks to BL Shipway. You're on the phone. Paul, here's Cornsy.
G'day, Paul.
G'day, Timmy. G'day, Cornsy. Look, Cornsy, I didn't know you were such a pessimist. Are you becoming a grumpy old man in your old age, mate?
I don't think he's becoming.
No,
I was going to say. No, you're already there.
No, Paul, fair enough. Go for it. I deserve it.
well, look, I think.
But argue with me, please. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think the future is looking very bright for this Crows team. I have to say to you, I'm tired of Crows people, ringing up and bagging the coach, the players when they lose a few. This team is about the second or third youngest list in the competition. You know as well as I do, Graham, you can't put 200 games, of experience into a player that's been in the system for 4 or 5 years. And the vast majority of our players, Nixie's come in after 2020 and had to turn over what was a fairly disastrous 18 and 19. I think our recruiting people have done a fantastic job to bring in some elite players that are elite kickers who have elite skill. So I'm absolute. And look, maybe
Righto. Like, I'm suitably admonished, Paul.
Yeah, no, that's
lovely. It's good to hear the positives.
Yeah,
but we'll move on because lots.
Yeah, well, Brenton's
and you're making me look silly.
Yeah, Brenton's a bit hot on the goal kicking. G'day, Brenton.
Yeah, hello, fellas. Hey, look, Cornsy, you and Tim, who is usually one of the most honest most honest commentators. Yeah. Goal kicking.
Oh, don't talk
about it. The Crows kick 13-15. I'm a Port supporter, red hot. We kick 12-11. Kick straight, we win.
Yep.
30 metres out, get in front. I'm 68 years old. I can kick that goal.
You cannot.
Hey,
Brenton,
give him a chance.
You cannot, Brenton, because
I believe in you, Brenton.
But you're right. Both teams suffered badly from not converting easy goals. Port Adelaide particularly. I mean, there was like Dacos and Elliott convert difficult goals.
Elliott was outstanding.
Port Adelaide missed an easy one. Crows exactly the same. Although Taylor Walker doesn't miss very often.
Not too often, but Fogarty's a very good kicker, and he just missed that one late.
Crows were 5 goals 10 from set shots yesterday.
Yeah.
5-10.
That's only 33%, not good
Robert,
enough.
you're right.
Des on the unique homestyle foods text says exactly that. Graham, Timmy, what about the points that have been kicked from set shots? Can you give me the percentage of goals to points for both teams? Yeah, Des, we'll get some homework done on that and come back to you because it is a concern. And just that game, like you said, Crows, 5-10 from set shots. You've got to be kicking around 65% at least on that.
Robert, good afternoon.
Oh, g'day, Graham. How you going? Hey, that bloke you had on the other day that made $10,000 out of rabbits. Pity he wasn't the treasurer of the country.
You're talking about Lance Vader. What a legend he is.
What a bloke. Yeah, listen, what I can't understand, how the hell do they work that push in the back rule out?
Oh, look, I don't know. There's
I mean, you see guys obviously pushing the back. The guy goes forward and he marks the ball, and it's okay. Another time he just touches his back and he gets penalised for pushing in the back.
Well, I mean, any contact of any hands in the back should be a free kick. No, we see Guys getting away with that a bit too often. But it's more, though, as I said, the one on Lockie Murphy yesterday where he got driven into the ground from behind, that was clearly a free kick. And it went down the other end, and it was awarded to Melbourne. So, yeah, we bitch about the umpiring. 4 umpires is too many. There's difference in interpretation.
Well, I had a photo shown to me on the weekend, and it was in the Port Collingwood game, but there was 4 umpires in the forward pocket, 2 field, 2 boundary. The snapshot was taken as the ball's going to get thrown in. Now, that's got to be the wrong positioning for 4 umpires. That's ridiculous. You've got to have somebody on the back of that pack to see what's happening on that side.
Well, one of the boundary umpires was in line, so he could just pay a free kick against Aliir, who just deviated slightly off his line, bringing the ball back into play.
How did they override a central umpire? No, it shouldn't be allowed.
That is the case of a boundary umpire wanting to be involved in the game when he doesn't have to be.
Not your business. Let's ask Con, because exactly that subject about playing on out of bounds. G'day, Con.
How you going, guys?
Con?
Yeah, I suppose we've been having a bit of a debate, and this is probably why I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are. In the rules, 20.3.2 actually says, do you want me to read it to you very quickly?
No, you're supposed to bring the ball back onto the one line, isn't it? And you're going to talk about Elliot and Dakin.
As soon as you walk off your line, unless I'm not saying I agree with the rule, but change the rule. If you're going to have the rule in there, then they've got to call it back and say, sorry, it's out of bounds. Throw the ball in. But they don't do it.
Spot on, Con. I'm with you. I don't agree with it either, but it was there.
Con, I'm having a Twitter war with all these Collingwood fans because Jamie, there's great vision. Someone put up on Twitter who was right behind him. When he starts his run up to have his kick, he goes directly towards. He's out of bounds. He goes directly towards the goal line. Then he turns his right, comes back inside and kicks it around. Now that, to my way of thinking, is play on out of bounds, and it should have been thrown like Aliir's was.
Yeah. But I'm with Con. I actually don't agree with that.
Just bring the ball back in.
But make it right for all players and don't call Aliir on it. Simple as that. Did you ever chat to Shippy?
I did have a Ship. Shippy's been in Perth with the South Australian country team.
How'd they go this year?
Well, Shippy thinks it's his fault because apparently he was dietitian, fitness coach,
now we're in trouble.
And second runner.
I've never heard of a second runner. That's interesting.
They got beaten by 8 goals apparently by the Western Australian country team.
All
so
right.
the boys might be happy with that.
Yeah,
but look,
back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board tomorrow. 2 weeks away from moving.
Oh, 2 weeks. We've got a
BL
date.
Shipway, a South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years. If you can't get into their huge Richmond Road location, which in 2 weeks' time is going to be Morfett Road location, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you. So great company to deal with, great guy to know. So thank you for having me.
Well done, great. Brilliant.
Excellent work, Guernsey. It is 2 minutes to 5. Treaders to join us after the 5 o'clock news.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
Disney and Cameron McIntosh's Mary Poppins is now playing at the Festival Theatre for a limited season. And audiences are absolutely raving. Spellbinding, unforgettable, jaw-dropping. And the Adelaide Advertiser hailed it a breathtaking super spectacle. Final tickets are selling fast. Book now at Ticketek.
The Barossa Valley is a great place to visit. You have history, wine, great food, nature, wine. What if you had one extra draw card? Your parents. Retirement units are available in safe and connected neighbourhoods just an hour from the city. We're talking about newly renovated 1, 2 and 3 bedroom homes from around 180k to 300k. They get the vine change and you get another reason to visit the Barossa. Win-win. Talk to your parents today about Barossa Village. Find out more at barossavillage.org.
The secret to owning the best house in the street isn't about the house.
It's the fence. Cast Stone is an SA company with a bold reputation for premium quality fences designed to enhance your beautiful home. Walk down the streets of Adelaide's best postcodes and you'll see their heritage, traditional or modern stone pillars designed to suit solid walling, tubular steel, cast aluminium, brush fencing or timber slats. You haven't finished it until you've fenced it. View the gallery at caststone.com.au or arrange a consultation.
Your Health Minister is sitting on a long-awaited report detailing how many South Australians living with a mental illness are doing so without support or the care they need. While we wait, on average 18 South Australians lose their lives to suicide every month. We need to know what is in the report and what needs to be done now. People are dying to know the truth, Minister. A message by the Mental Health Coalition of South Australia. If you or someone you know needs mental health support, go to mhcsa.org.au.
Who can fix the shower?
Service Today.
Who can fix the power?
Service Today.
Yes, we can, is what we say at
Service Today.
Every time you see our bright yellow trucks in your area, we're helping out your neighbours. We can help you too. So for the best plumbing, electrical, heating and cooling work, call Service Today 24/7.
Can you fix the shower? Yes, we can. Can you fix the power? Yes, we can. Yes, we can, is what we say at Service Today.
Call 1300 Service.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow and 16. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. It's our turn to host a FIFA Women's World Cup game tonight. The stage is set for Brazil v Panama at Hindmarsh Stadium starting at 8:30. Sports Minister Katrine Hildyard says it's significant for our state.
The massive global audience expected to reach 2 billion worldwide across the tournament provides a huge opportunity to showcase South Australia on the world stage with a sellout crowd expected for each of the 5 matches.
Public transport is free for ticket holders. For those who haven't got a ticket, you can watch all the games at the free fan zone at Festival Plaza. There's another case of meningococcal disease in South Australia. A 55-year-old man has been admitted to hospital and is in a stable condition. Last week, there were 3 cases recorded in SA. It could soon be easier for casual employees to convert to full-time work under the next stage of the federal government's industrial relations reforms. Minister Tony Burke delivering a speech today promising a new definition of casual work as part of proposed changes. Australian Council of Trade Unions Secretary Sally McManus says workers will be able to choose if they want to convert.
If you're working regular work and you want to get a home loan, you want to build a life, you want to make sure that if you're sick you get paid sick leave and plan for the future, and you've got to that point in your life, well then you've got the right to have a permanent job.
The Royal Commission into robo-debt has claimed its first scalp with the resignation of a senior public servant. Zactor Silva has more from Canberra.
Catherine Campbell ran the Department of Human Services while the robo-debt scheme was being rolled out. The Royal Commission into the program was scathing, finding she did nothing of substance when she was told it may have been illegal. Last year, Miss Campbell was appointed to the Defence Department as a senior advisor on the AUKUS Pact. After the Commission handed down its damning report a few weeks ago, the senior bureaucrat was suspended without pay. Now Miss Campbell has quit her $900,000 role altogether. Defence has confirmed it's accepted her resignation.
A West Australian surfer is lucky to be alive after being attacked by a great white off Margaret River this morning. The man, aged in his 20s, was bitten on the leg at the boat ramp. A shark was spotted in the area shortly after the attack, with authorities quickly closing the surrounding beaches. The victim managed to paddle to shore and was taken to hospital. He's in a stable condition. Victorian taxpayers aren't any closer to finding out how much they'll pay for the state government reneging on hosting the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Alex Riddell reports from Melbourne.
A deal will now be negotiated from Australia after Andrew's government and lawyers return from London without reaching a resolution with the Commonwealth Games Federation. But Government Minister Mary Ann Thomas is confident that resolution is forthcoming.
Of course, in this day and age, it's very possible and easy to continue negotiations, whatever country you're in.
But Opposition Leader John Pasuto says it's obvious the situation is worse than Victorians have been told.
because it's clear that with the negotiating team returning empty-handed, something is going wrong.
The negotiations have been running since last week after the Premier made the announcement the state would no longer host the Games because the financial estimates have blown out by at least $4 billion. The publication called Inside the Games says the Commonwealth Games Federation is reportedly asking for up to $500 million in compensation.
Now turning to 5AA sport, we won't see Nick Murray in the red, blue and yellow for the rest of the season. Scans have confirmed he ruptured his ACL during the Crows' loss to Melbourne. But Isaac Rankin could play again this year despite injuring his left hamstring. This weekend, it's the second showdown of the season, and Crows captain Jordan Dawson says the pressure is on.
Yeah, we know the reality is we've got to win, and we still want to play finals, so yeah, we just got to make sure we win this week and go from there.
Port Adelaide will challenge the two-match ban offered to Willie Rioli. He's been charged with striking Collingwood's Nathan Murphy in the last quarter of Saturday night's loss. Well, Docker Sean Darcy is out for the season. He'll have ligament surgery on the ankle he injured in round 18 against Collingwood, while Collingwood tall Mason Cox has signed a 2-year contract extension with the Magpies. Triple Olympic champion Kaylee McEwen is vowing to take revenge at the World Aquatic Championships after being disqualified in the women's 200 metres individual medley for an illegal turn. And Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from next month's Canadian Open due to fatigue. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Ashford, residual delays following a crash at Anzac Highway near the hospital. Ridgehaven, Burstwater Main, North East Road near Shepherd Street. Busy, the Parade at Glenburn Road, also Grange Road at Findon Road, pretty busy. And we're slow at Hendon with the lane closed, West Lakes Boulevard near Morley Road. Cameras, Happy Valley Drive, Happy Valley, and Lander Road at Trott Park. Telstra's flash sale is now on. Save up to $750 on a range of the latest phones. That's pretty flash. Sale ends July 31. Head into a Telstra store today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight, down to 6. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 16. Sunny on Wednesday, 17. Showers Thursday, 18. Right now it's 13 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
You can trust 9 News is live and local. While others do their news from Melbourne, 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide. Weeknights at 5.
First in Adelaide's 9 News at 5.
Nightly at 6.
And the unprecedented police operation.
We go to some breaking news now, and crews are right now at the scene.
And that's why the switch is on to 9 News.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It is 7 minutes after 5 on this Monday evening. Rowie is on the sick list, hopeful to return tomorrow. Coming up this hour, we'll break down the weekend and build up to Showdown 54 with Riley Thilthorpe and Nathan Bassett. We're going to cross to the UK as well. Bharat Sundaresan on the back of the 4th test. Gee whiz, the fallout from the UK. It's been quite something. We'll take your calls on all things sport, 8223 0000. It's time to welcome in Warren Tredrea for Adelaide's only Mahindra dealership, which is now open. You can test drive the range today at Mahindra Wayville. They are opposite the showgrounds.
Throws it up long, goal square, Tredrea!
Warren Tredrea.
The Premiership Cup to the captain, Warren Tredrea. Oh, Tredrea! Party time!
On the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, each and every Monday, Warren Tredrea joining us. G'day, Tredders. You're not in studio. I'll miss you.
Yeah, I've decided to take a break from you, Tim. We've spent too much time recently together, and I think it's good for our relationship. Otherwise, we'll be filing for divorce.
You're not going to believe this. My wife left. My wife left for Hobart this morning, thinking the same thing.
Hey, Timmy, at least she said Hobart. At least she didn't say I'm leaving.
Well, she promised she's coming back. I'm sure of it. Yeah, well, we'll see how we go anyway. Hey, mate, I'm going to read a unique Homestyle Foods text to you because I think it'll lead into your opinion on where it went wrong. But it says, hey, Timmy, disappointed with the loss on Saturday night. Just feels like the same old story for Port. It's not converting their dominance. They had the game on their own terms, the majority of it. And I've seen it too many times. Hopefully they can bring the pressure this week and convert, says Daniel. How did you see it? And where perhaps did Collingwood win it? Where did Port lose it?
Daniel's exactly right from the way I see it. And obviously we called the game together, Timmy, on the weekend. And For me, 3 quarters was brilliant. It was a brilliant performance. I expected Port to fire. I hoped they'd win. I wasn't super confident they'd win because they were coming up with a team that absolutely obliterated them. But what I did expect was that they were going to have a better showing, and they absolutely did that. So full credit to Port Adelaide. But when you lead it at home in a wet, greasy night, I think they were, 17 points up by memory?
3/4 time, correct?
Yeah. But then you lose the last quarter 6 goals to 3. You'd have to sit back and be really disappointed. I get the feeling people go, yes, it's a vast improvement and on round 2, I think it was, going way back when. But it's a different looking team since round 2. It's a team that's put together 13 consecutive wins until the last 2. So for me, it's simply put, and I highlighted on our RAA Insurance who sponsor our stats, sometimes you can just use that computer and go, oh, yeah, look at your numbers on the AFL app and go, oh, yeah, clearances were 28 to 52 or whatever the number is. But you can break it down on that stats machine. And I've got some interesting statistics for you in the last quarter.
Thank you.
Port Adelaide had 2 midfielders in their top 4 disposals in the last quarter. It was Finlayson with 8 touches.
Right.
Then you had Burton, who's a defender, with 7, Rosie with 7, Houston with 6, and then Boak with 5. He was the 5th one, right? So, but anyone above 5 disposals, I've broken this down for. Collingwood above 5 disposals had full forward Jamie Elliott, who had 5 touches, kicked 2 impressive goals. Chris, the defender, had 6. Nick Dacos, who'd been held for 3 quarters, had 6 4 clearances and a goal. Josh Dacos had 7 and a goal. Sidebottom, 7 and a goal. Adams in his 200th had 8 4 clearances and 3 inside 50. So they had, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 players combined for 40 touches, 5 goals of their 6 and 8 clearances. And the clearance numbers were a massive differential anyway. I think it was like 16 to 10 in the last quarter. So as much as we can say really good performance by Port, for 3 quarters, absolutely, but they just got beaten at the source.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that Willem Drew didn't stay with Dacos. I know they dropped that tag and they maybe put him to Adams at one stage or a couple others just to try and stem the flow.
Why was that, you think? Because I went to Alberton yesterday to see Port Sturt and I got accosted a couple of times on exactly that. Why did Drew come off of Dacos? And I said, look, I'm calling the game. I can't study it that closely. But did he? And, I couldn't pick that up calling it.
It was an interesting tag because I didn't feel that Dacos actually spent too much time centre square. He showed himself at half-back, a little bit of wing, more half-back. And I think we spoke pre-game about, is it an ideal trade? A tag when you're playing someone who's a centre square specialist in Drew on Dacos. I thought as soon as he picked him up, effectively Dacos goes as a roaming halfback flanker and plays in the midfield anyway. So I thought Drew was sensational. I think 16 touches, 16 tackles. He was immense in terms of the pressure early. No. But I think they just felt that, hang on, this guy's not having much of an influence. He's even going, Dacos said, he's going to do kick-ins to try and get the numbers up and get himself into a game. But at some stage, it was always going to turn. So for me, I'm not hanging this on Port's coaching panel. I just sit there and go, they picked the best option they thought. But, and if it is Adams and they did try and play arm across, he had 9 touches, 4 clearances. And sometimes the tendency, it's difficult to stop. I get they let him off the chain, but if you're sitting there at half-time, I think the Dacos brothers had combined for about 22 touches. You go, that's a win every week, considering that they've combined to 60 how many times this year? So I think fundamentally they just got beaten at source. And you take out Finlayson, who's just a roving ruckman. You can't have, if you think about, if I tell you this next week or in a first final against Collingwood or a grand final or whatever it is, if Adams, Sidebottom, Dacos, Crisp and Elliott get off the chain, you go, oh yeah, we're gone. And that's exactly what happened.
What about Scotty Lysette came off? I think there was about 12 and a half minutes left. So about halfway through the quarter, he came off the ground and was subbed for Dylan Williams. Did you feel like that had a bearing on the game, or was it, was it okay that sub was made?
I think that it's okay the sub was made because Finlayson can get his hand on the footy. We know he can play as an extra runner, and Cameron's not a great runner. Cameron, I think, hit 2 advantage was just world record early in that match. I think there was some elements of that at halftime. You go, well, I think Cameron had 9 touches, or 9 hit outs, and at one stage I think Lysette had 7. Lysette's were 2 to advantage, Cameron's were 7 to advantage. So I think Collingwood beat them that area anyway. So probably the midfield situation with Josh Carr and Ken Hinkley put their heads together and go, you know what, well, what's this doing? Are we getting much out of it? You'd have to say no, let's try a different look, and that's what they did. I just feel that both teams, particularly Collingwood and more so Port Adelaide, the sub, I don't know, it's just my gut feel, sub has to be a midfielder, has to be an outside running midfielder.
Yeah.
Because
with you.
As good as Williams is, right, he's not a runner and accumulator. He's a beautiful kick and executed by foot. But you need runners because the point of difference late in the game with a sub is to run and to break space when everyone's getting tired.
Yep.
Collingwood played Markov. The Crows, I remember round 2, played Phil Thorpe. Like, it just baffles me how they're just not playing and I know he's out of the team because his form's not elite. But it's not the guy, but it could be. It's the Riley Bonner type, the guy that can come on, use the ball really well, get on the outside, run hard, and play a quarter and get 10 touches and set you up a couple of goals. I think if Port Adelaide had maybe one of them on the weekend, then maybe might be a different story. But to Collingwood's credit, I think Tugger's come up with an unbelievable stat about where they are. They've got a ridiculous win-loss ratio. Heading into three-quarter time. Like, they just know that they can get the job done. And I think the biggest memory I've had is that they've come from 6 goals down on Anzac Day against Essendon and won.
I just felt that
they can get it done.
That last quarter, I just felt like if we could just even hold the play, hold it up for as long as possible, try to score the first goal. Because I think that the difference was if they get early goals, that's the momentum shift. And they got 2 within 4 minutes. And we weren't able to stop that. So that made it really difficult. 6-3 centre clearances in the last quarter. 6-3 goals in the last quarter. There's some synergy in that, surely.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. But when you're in the third quarter, Port kicks 3-5, don't they, to 2-1.
Yes.
3-5, they're all over.
Yeah.
Set shot from Marshall, 25 out, and he's a beautiful kick, misses. Burton on the run, misses. When you've got ascendancy, you've got to take those opportunities. 17 points could have easily been 30, and that's really three-quarter time. I think Ollie had only had 8 touches, Boak 11, so 2 midfielders, you're effectively getting the job done against the best team with 2 guys who are key players are down. But I do see interesting too, boys. You'd be over it all this afternoon. Rioli.
Yep.
Port rolling the dice on that 2 week.
Yep.
I think, put it kindly, he's had a tough week, obviously with the racism stuff. It's just ridiculous. But take that aside, he probably should get 1 week. It's probably the AFL's given him 2 because it's 1 week for stupidity, for just throwing a punch you didn't need to do or an open hand. But I do find it interesting. The AFL has ranked it as intentional conduct. That's correct, right? They've said medium impact. Well, there's no way that's medium impact. That's low impact, and that's what Port will be chasing. And it's obviously high contact to the head. So if they can get it downgraded from medium impact to low impact, it'll be 1 week. And it's probably just a simple reminder to anyone, if you even think about throwing anything, then you're going to spend some time on the sidelines. And Rioli owes his teammates for this one.
Thought it was his best game for Port, though.
Yeah, he's good. We know he's silk, he's got class. Sometimes people criticise him for not a huge amount of influence, but he's there. I remember that beautiful dinky kick. I'm not sure who was it to in the second quarter. It was just, could have blazed away. I think I found Dixon, and Dixon kicked truly. So he's just, everything moves in slow motion when he gets the ball. It's just, everyone else is going a million miles an hour and he just picks really good options. So, and that's the most frustrating bit, is that he's getting himself back after obviously some personal leave. Now plays his best game, and now he's going to miss at least a week.
Yeah. Mate, we're going to have a quick break. You okay to hang on the line? I know the relationship's strained, but if you could just hang on there, we'll have a chat to you. Because
we've had over 2 decades positivity, so I'm sure we can turn it around.
I've got some questions for you. One, playing on out of bounds. I've got another one for you about running out of fullback. And I've got one for you about deliberate out of bounds. Talk to you soon.
We'll do all that after this. It's 19 after 5. Let's check your roads.
At Hindmarsh, got roads closed due to the soccer tonight. Manton Street and surrounding side streets, including George Street and Adam Street. Best Watermain slowing things up at Ridgehaven, North East Road near Shepherd Street. Busy Grange Road at East Avenue. Slow for works at West Beach. Tapley's Hill Road near St Donald Brabham Drive. With cameras Happy Valley Drive, Happy Valley, and Lander Road at Trot Park. The Guzmani Gomez Curly Burrito, with its Chipotle seasoned fries, choice of filling, fresh pico de gallo, guac, sour cream and more. It's legendary. Only at GYG. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. Each week on the 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy talk to star players from the Adelaide Crows. Thanks to Agostino Mitsubishi. Service your Mitsubishi at Agostino Mitsubishi. Book a free loan car or enjoy a coffee while you wait.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easy for property investors and the tenants of their properties. Everyone is treated with integrity and respect. That's the Lynn Andrews way. For commercial and residential property management, we are here to help. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Now, it's hard to believe, but bi-urban bathrooms and kitchens may not be everybody's cup of tea. I can't believe it myself. But if you're not fussed by sticky drawers, or you're not driven mad by looking at something that doesn't quite line up, or you don't appreciate millimetre perfect craftsmanship, well, service of the highest standard, then maybe bi-urban bathrooms and kitchens not for you. Well, if you love all those things, and they are important, and you want to live with a kitchen and a bathroom that you'll adore for many years to come, then you speak with David Cox and the incredible team at bi-urban Bathrooms and Kitchens. They are brilliant. And remember, this is not just about the amazing result, it's how you get there that really sets bi-urban Bathrooms and Kitchens apart from everybody else. It's the journey, as Coxie likes to say. Now, biurban.com.au is where you go. They are Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Celebrate 85 years of Nescafe and win $2,000 instantly. Purchase a participating Nescafe product and enter online for your chance to win. There's a winner every day for 85 days. Another great reason to have a Nescafe coffee. T's and C's at nescafe.com.au.
Get a bargain on everything you need for your next outdoor adventure at the 4-day caravan and camping sale from Thursday.
With show-only deals from over 50 exhibitors on everything from caravans, campers and RVs through to outdoor camping and four-wheel drive gear.
Buy your tickets now or at the gate and go in the draw for your chance to win $4,000 in free fuel.
So grab a bargain for your next outdoor adventure at the 4-day caravan and camping sale this Thursday to Sunday at the Adelaide Showground.
Set sail through the romantic rivers of France with Scenic and Phil Hoffman Travel. Explore the historic beauty of Normandy, the sun-dappled Seine River, the Bordeaux wine region and the spectacular south of France in all-inclusive ultra-luxury on board a scenic river cruise with beauty around every river bend. Book now to receive one-night pre- and post-tour accommodation, transfers and more. T's and C's apply. Offer ends September 30. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel to book or visit pht.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 after 5 on this Monday. Riley Thilthorpe coming up shortly. Rowie still on the sick list. Treaders is in with Timmy G, all thanks to the Mahindra dealership at Wayville.
He certainly is. Treaders, just before the break, I want to ask you about a few things. The first one's just a whinge. Darcy Moore running out of full back. He ran that far that we had to check him for fruit at the border. It was outrageous, mate. I couldn't believe it. Quarantine grabbed him.
Is it a question or a statement?
Look, it's a statement. I'll move on from it. But I am sick of.
It was a good statement.
I'm sick of people running out of full back.
He only ran about 38 metres by my measuring.
Oh, it was a classic. Jamie Elliott was accused of playing on out of bounds. They pinned Alir for it. Now, I went through it with Cornsey. Cornsey got and Con rang up and actually gave us the letter of the law, where you just got to stay in a straight line if you're out of bounds. Now, for me, I'm not fussed if you do run around and kick the goal or whatever. I'm happy for that to happen. But they probably got to change the law on that one. What's your thoughts on that, playing on out of bounds?
Well, I must admit, I think at the time when we called the game, I said, geez, that's Alir. I think everyone does that.
Yes,
a lot of blokes do that. Some step in the line, then walk out the line and kick, but the kick hasn't come into play. But I must admit, I had no problem with either of them. You know, Aaliyah, if you watch him kick, he goes left and then goes right. So he sort of veers left to straighten up and kick long. Like, if he's moving in a forward direction, does it really matter?
Yeah.
If he turns sideways, see, technically for me, he hasn't actually brought the ball back into play. So if he actually kicked where he kicked it, and this is a little bit off kilter here, and it went out in the full, but it never actually entered play, he should get the kick back again. But that's another
another can of worms.
Can of worms in this game. But like Elliott, every person in the world does that, because the thing I find laughable is if Elliott should be pinged, which I don't think he should.
No.
But by the letter of law, people say, oh, yes, he could. But his intention was to go straight into the field. He did. He didn't change course. But the other bit that's always a bugbear for me is so if we put him on the right angle, Elliott's going to have to kick off 8 steps instead of his usual 14 because we run out of boundary.
Yep.
Like, I find it ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no way Aaliyah should have got done, and I had nothing wrong. I had no problem with Elliott. If he's good enough to kick it, well, good on him.
Fair enough too. Nick Dacos got done for deliberate out of bounds, and Scott from West Lakes has texted into me and said, hey, when are we going to get this last possession sample rule into the AFL? Because it's got no grey, and it's been umpired beautifully at sample level for seasons now, probably 5 or 6. And I reckon any fear of it, coming undone has been removed. It's been really well umpired, and it gets rid of this grey that we saw again on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's got some serious merit. I want to hold back a little because it's no longer deliberate. It's, what do we call it again?
Intention?
I think I remember this.
Insufficient intent.
Insufficient intent, which is... Yeah, Dacos is absolutely right. You go back to that final against Richmond, Hamish Hartlett was absolutely guilty of it when he supposedly tried to handball to Rockcliffe but missed him by 5 metres. You've got to keep the ball in play. I think if we're serious, instead of the AFL just plucking this out of left field, next year for the pre-season games or the trial games or whatever you want to do it, hey, let's trial it. Let's trial it, and if it goes really well and we like what we see, let's put it into the season.
Yeah, good.
You can always take it out. They always change everything.
Yeah,
but why not trial it in the trial games with the intent that we're going to use it in the season? We'll make a final call after those 2 pre-season games that we play every year. Because, as you say, the sample stuff and my time with North Adelaide this year, I sit back and look at it and go, I don't like elements of it where blokes, diving to touch the ball before it's a kick
or letting it roll out.
It's better than the alternative.
I agree, spot on. Hey mate, also Scott Westlakes reckons Port Adelaide should use Dusty Martin in their case for Willie Rioli with the elbow last week.
That's a really good theory, but Willie's got to win 3 flags, win 3 Sorry, he let us say
the
that.
bias.
Sure.
Well,
the Brownlow bias.
Wow.
Got to get those attendances up, boys. Memberships are at the record level the AFL put out today. So
I expect that from Graham Corns, but from you.
Wow. Well, I'm getting cynical. Too much Cornsy. I'm getting his crinkles on his forehead, so I'm chasing him.
But in a minute, let me know who's better placed at this stage of the week between Port and the Crows.
Oh, gosh. I think Port are better placed.
Those injuries have hurt, haven't they?
50-50, and I won't sleep well this week knowing this game's coming.
Yeah.
But Rankin out is a massive out. Murray out for the rest of the year is just shattering.
Yep.
That's just, no one likes seeing that.
No.
And I ask you this question, Tim.
Yes.
Melbourne dominate that game and lead by almost 7 goals. Why does it take a 7-goal lead for Adelaide senior players to just bunker down and take the game on? We saw it with Collingwood. They were down, then they got themselves back into it. They like just chasing.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it?
They just don't like leading from the front. Yeah, I think it's a mental thing.
A bit like the Angle Park Greyhounds. It's like chasing.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, lead us out.
Yes.
Yep. I think there's something in that. Yep. I understand there's only 4 players that played 100 games yesterday, but we're talking about some of the most talented young players in Australia. But why is it the Adelaide get themselves into a situation where they can win the game and they're good enough to take it up to the best couple of teams? They've beaten Port. They fell to Collingwood by a kick. They fell to Melbourne by a kick. I think they beat Brisbane, did they, by memory?
Yep, they did.
So there you go. Their record against the top 4 is immaculate. Yet they can have no shows. It's all in the head.
Yep.
And if Matty Nix can't fix it, then it's going to be a tough year next year for him.
All right, Warren Treadray, thank you very much. Look forward Friday. Will you come back? Will you come back
I'll
in
be back
to the
Friday.
studio?
Yeah, we should be
thanks,
good by
mate.
then.
Good on you, buddy. Appreciate it. Warren Treadray, brought to us by Mahindra Wavell. It's now open on Goodwood Road opposite the showground. So get in there, test drive a range of SUVs and 4x4 vehicles. They got the stock there, raring to go. Get in there, driven by Australian Motors.
Amazing when you talk about the Crows. They've led 4 times this year at three-quarter time and lost. Most in the competition. And then, of course, to just think that Melbourne's 4-point loss yesterday, that was the worst result the Crows have had this year against a top 4 team. The worst result.
At 4 points.
That's incredible.
Oh, wow.
Wins against Brisbane and Port, 1-point and 2-point losses to Collingwood, and a 4-point loss to Melbourne. That is quite a stat.
What could have
indeed.
been?
5:30, we'll get to the headlines. Riley Thilthorpe from the Crows next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. All roads lead to Hindmarsh for soccer fans tonight as Coopers hosts a game in the FIFA Women's World Cup. The Com Games fiasco in Victoria takes another twist as negotiations continue to break the contract. Australian cinemas have recorded their biggest weekend ever. And in sport, bad news at West Lakes. Crow Nick Murray will miss up to 12 months of footy with a torn ACL. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Noarlunga Downs, debris on the road following an earlier crash. Main South Road near the Southern Expressway exit delays back up to Seaford Road at the moment. Kingswood, crash Belair Road near the Kingswood Oval. And Hindmarsh Road's closed there due to soccer tonight. Manton Street and surrounding side streets including George Street and Adam Street. Busy Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North with a camera today. Port Road at West Hindmarsh. Telstra's flash sale is now on. Save up to $750 on a range of the latest phones. That's pretty flash. Sale ends July 31. Head into a Telstra store today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 16. Right now it's 13 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
Is this still a first-rate first world health system? Well, it doesn't sound like it. It doesn't feel like it, unless you're in the position to cough up staggering amounts of money for private health cover. It's a two-tiered system is what it is.
Informing Adelaide.
If you're rich enough to pay full tote odds for private health cover from an early age, you also pay a higher Medicare levy. So there's all that extra money going into the public system. Yeah. It's just this money pit.
Doesn't feel like value for money.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
The high-tech home of tomorrow has a new name. It's not Siri or Alexa. It goes by the name Jim. Add data, security and complete connectivity to your home with Jim's antennas and security. Start by asking Jim to boost your Wi-Fi for streaming TV and gaming. It's easy with integrated cables and extra data points. Jim can make sure your free-to-air channels are crystal clear too. For a high-tech home, just ask Jim. Hey Jim. jimsantennasandsecurity.com.au.
Hi, I'm Steve from Walco Liners and Covers at Paraka. I wanted to go with KG and Cornsey. I wanted KG to do a live read, and KG, who I met, said, with reservation, I hope I don't stuff it up. And I sort of said to him, I hope you do. And God love him, KG, even argued the word Walco, was it pronounced Welco? And I got a call, I was down in Mount Gambier, got a call from the lads in the morning. They said, how do you pronounce it? I said, why, what's the problem? Well, we're differing how it's pronounced. Sure enough, Blakey's listening to that, and it's on behind closed doors. I think we've done it 3 times now. So that's another value add in prime time. It's a bit of a tip of the hat from Blakey.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link for more information.
Now, BL Shipway is South Australian institution has been looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years. Sponsors Cornsey. He's a great fella. Everybody knows Shippy in Adelaide. They work with the best suppliers in the industry, including Ryco, Bosch, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Olipath, Easy Fit and many more. Now, you might not know those names, but if you're in the game, they're the ones that you got to have. They will not let you down. They have plenty of stock at 217 Richmond Road, which I heard from Cornsey tonight in a fortnight. They're moving.
They are.
We'll let you know where that is. But at the moment, they're still at Richmond Road, and they've got a team of experts ready to help you out. Now, if you can't get in store, jump on the blow, have a chat. They're always there to help. They're just so good. And remember, BL Shipway's state-of-the-art workshop will take care of your equipment, servicing and repairs or they'll send a Ryco 24/7 mobile hose repair van your way. It's unreal. It's like roadside assist. Incredible. Support a great SA company. And when you need anything to do with hydraulics, BL Shipway's absolutely the place to go. 217 Richmond Road for now, or blshipway.com.au.
Some things belong in the bin, like soggy sandwiches, half-eaten apples, hard-earned cash. Wait, give me that. If you're paying for electricity, you're basically chucking cash in the trash. So put your electricity budget towards something instead with Go Sunny Solar's Anytime Payment Plan. With no outlay, you can put what you were wasting on electricity bills towards paying for your solar panels instead. Let Go Sunny Solar keep your cash out of the trash. Visit gosunny.com.au/5AA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowan and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It is 25 minutes to 6. We'll cross to the UK shortly. Baratsunda racing over there after the Ashes' fourth test. It was raining very heavily in Manchester. We'll get the latest fallout from the UK. Nathan Bassett from the Port Adelaide Footy Club, and still have that double pass to give away to the Showdown this Saturday. Stay tuned for that.
Adelaide went down to Melbourne bravely yesterday by 4 points. We've got one of their young guns on the line, Riley Philthorpe. G'day, Riley.
Hey, guys. How you going?
Hey, buddy, another honourable loss, but that's getting frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, extremely frustrating. Yeah, we keep putting ourselves into games, and to keep coming off in tight losses is getting a bit annoying, yeah.
Yeah, well, my counterpart here, Sam Tugwell, just gave me a stat before you came on. It was 4 times you've been leading at three-quarter time. Yeah, and unfortunately haven't been able to get the win. So that's that. Just being able to maintain that pressure, isn't it, up for long?
Yeah, I think we've put ourselves in pretty good positions throughout the year, and I think we're still very young and still very, very inexperienced. So all these games we're learning a lot from, and hopefully, in the future we can start to win a few more of these games.
Yeah, I heard Nixie afterwards, and look, he's proud of the way you keep fighting it out. And I've got to say, you kept persisting. Sometimes that margin was blowing out to 5 or 6 goals, and I thought, oh, this could be it. And then, no, fought back again and got back within that small margin. So you've got to admire the fight that's in the group.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's definitely something we take pretty serious. We don't ever give in, and we go to the final whistle. Unfortunately, we didn't quite kick straight, and a couple of things went wrong yesterday, but we definitely didn't give up, so that's very positive, I guess.
Yeah, you're right about the set shots. I think you were 2-9 from set shots at three-quarter time and finished the game at 5-10. Now, that's only a 33% roughly set shot result. You get that up to 60, mate, you'll be winning a lot more games at three-quarter time.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a bit of a theme this year, but kicking at the G is pretty tough. The wind actually swirls around a lot, and I've only played there 3 times, and I know a lot of the other boys are pretty new there, so we're still sort of working it out, I guess.
One thing I will say, your performances at the G this year have been outstanding.
Yeah, we've played pretty well. It's been really good because obviously you have to win at the G if you want to get that premiership.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely something we take a pretty big focus on going into those sort of weeks.
A stat that, because I looked at the team stats and there wasn't a lot of discrepancies there that we could worry about, but one I was actually just stunned by. You guys had 13 tackles inside 50. Have a guess how many Melbourne had.
Hello? Sorry, you cut out.
Oh, sorry. So here's a stat.
Pause of suspense.
Yeah. I was hanging on every word, but there wasn't one. There's a stat that stunned me. Tackles inside 50, Adelaide Crows had 13. How many do you reckon Melbourne had?
I've got no idea.
1. Can you believe that? That's incredible. I mean, all coaches would say we want to keep the ball in the forward half, don't we? And you guys are at least putting that pressure on in that forward 50. I couldn't believe Melbourne only had the 1. That's probably why you were able to come back several times.
Yeah, it's definitely a big focus. We pride ourselves on being able to win ground balls inside 50, which not many teams do. So we'd love to play like that. And the pressure's been a bit down for the last couple of weeks, so it's good that we got that back up. And I think it helped us on the day. Yeah.
Isaac Rankin, he looked to play a lot higher. He got up to some stoppages, and gee whiz, on the bolt, he looked so dangerous around that area. I thought it was one of his best games of the year.
Yeah, me too. He was unbelievable. we love having the ball in his hands, and when he gets up a bit higher, he gets a lot more of the ball. So unfortunately, he'll be out for the next couple of weeks, but we'll look forward to getting him back because he played unbelievable yesterday.
Look, it was only, I think, 30 or 40 seconds left on the clock when he did that terrific play, bursting down the far side wing, and then I think they just pushed him on impact, and that's probably overstretched the hammy and off it went. So a real bummer for him. And of course, Nick Murray too. You lost him now. They've had the scans. That's a real blow because he's had a terrific season. Yeah,
I thought yesterday he was probably one of our best, and that was probably one of the best games I've seen him play. That's a huge blow for us, especially with Tommy out with the same thing. But luckily we've got a lot of depth in our sample team, and as we showed yesterday, boys from the sample can come in the team and step up straight away. So I'm sure we'll be all right. But yeah, it's a huge loss. Well, on that, you had a bout of illness go through the joint. Luke Nankervis gets to debut and held himself really well, I thought. Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. Just to play with such confidence and composure, which is something we've lacked at times. So, no, it was great to see him come in. He thoroughly deserved that game, and I'm so happy that he played as well as he did. And that illness, most of those guys will be okay. That was like the old 24-hour bug. They'll be okay? Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of the boys are doing better today, so we'll get there to training tomorrow, and I'm sure everyone will be back to normal. Fair enough. Texas last quarter, he nearly stole the game, didn't he, for you? Yeah, he's unbelievable. He just always steps up when we need him. He's such a great leader, and yeah, I don't know what to say. He's incredible. I don't know how he does it. What about you, mate? Enjoying time when you get that time in the ruck? It looks like you do, and it looks like you enjoy the role. Yeah, it's good. Getting around the ball and getting a bit more of it is always fun. Yeah, it's good when we got back on top in the midfield there for a little bit. So, yeah, definitely enjoying it. It's good to be back around the ball. Would you like to do more of it? Yeah, definitely. I'm happy to get on the field wherever the team needs me. I do enjoy rucking. I love up forward as well, so I don't really mind, to be honest. Well, you got a home game, I believe, against a team that's not too far away, so it should be a big one. You've had minimal experience in these games, but gee, they're good, aren't they? Yeah, they're unbelievable. And to have it sold out already, I think it was sold out like a month ago, so yeah, it's going to be an incredible game. We're all really excited for it. Oh, I hope we get a cracking night for it, mate, and continue your growth and development, mate. It's been a pleasure watching it. Perfect. Thank you very much. Riley Thilthorpe, Adelaide Crow, young gun. Yeah, super to hear from him, and you can hear how, I suppose, it must hurt the belief inside the group when you go down again for a third straight game, but with a showdown that sort of helps the... Well, you had to bring up that nasty stat, didn't you? You know, 4 games, 3/4 time, you've lost them all. All right, you sound like Cornsey. No, come on, mate. They're just facts, but you don't need much motivation to get it for a showdown. Put some confidence into these kids. Riley Thilthorpe, thanks to Agostina Mitsubishi. They're serviced by the award-winning service department. Get your car serviced there. Enjoy a coffee while you wait, or book ahead for a free loan car and arrange your service today at Agostino Mitsubishi. All right, it's time to do this.
It's time for 7-Time Timmy's Lucky Sevens.
Time to give away some tickets to the Showdown. As Riley said, it's hard to get in, so we're going to give you an opportunity to get in. A double pass, Crows fans, 8223 0055. Timmy's going to run his Lucky Sevens quiz. You have to win by answering the 7th question. So if you can get through to the end and answer that 7th question, the tickets to the Showdown are yours. We'll do that after the break. Here's your traffic.
At Noongar Downs, debris on the road following earlier crash. Main South Road near the Southern Expressway. Exit delays back to Seaford Road. Kingswood crash there. Belair Road near the Kingswood Oval. Hindmarsh Road's closed due to the soccer tonight. Manton Street and surrounding side streets, including George Street and Adam Street. And we're quite busy at the moment. South Road at Carrata Park. Cameras, Main South Road, Morford Vale and Military Road at Grange. Lux it up at the Intercontinental Hayman Island Resort with up to $1,095 bonus value when you book with a Flight Centre First and Business Expert, making luxury travel easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Join David and Will each week on the 5AA Breakfast Show as they speak to power excitement machine Orazio Fantasia. Orazio! Thanks to Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
FIVEaa's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
It's Cyber Safety Awareness Month at Harvey Norman. For a limited time, they're giving away a free $50 cyber safety voucher that you can use towards any cybersecurity product. Use your voucher for the Norton 360 Premium, a 1-year subscription for one device, or the Trend Micro Device Security Pro. The best part? You can get either of these premium cybersecurity products for $0 with the voucher. It's more important than ever to safeguard your digital life, whether you're browsing the web, shopping online, or accessing your favourite social media platforms. Protect yourself and your devices with industry-leading cybersecurity solutions. Hurry, this fantastic deal ends on August 17th. Take control of your online safety today by visiting Harvey Norman.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. What's the best thing about winter? Definitely the Bob Burns Blinds Winter Warmer Special. Get super cozy with up to 40% off. That's up to 40% off our entire range of curtains and blinds, including our energy-efficient window coverings. With Bob Burns Blinds, you'll get that quality show home look, and you'll save money on energy bills by trapping the heat in your home. Get set for winter now with the Bob Burns Blinds Winter Warmer Special. Book your free measure and quote at bobburnsblinds.com.au.
I was just doing my job. I didn't think I'd get injured.
The doctor said it was a routine procedure? Right.
The car came out of nowhere and it smashed right into us.
At DBH Lawyers, we're here to listen to your story. Our team of local South Australian lawyers will help you navigate the law and find the best way forward. We're with you. We're for you. We're DBH Lawyers. dbh.com.au.
Now, we all know that ASIC Courier is a great SA family business. The whole family's involved, have been there, seen them all. They're fantastic people. Last time we were there, Rowie and I actually got involved with the birthday cake and everything. Oh, yeah. Lit the candles, blew them out, the whole lot. Even ate it. But they're also a business that's doing great things for your business. That's right. So ASIC Couriers pride themselves on being able to deliver your business in a safe and timely manner. Now, their drivers undergo intensive training, and the ASIC compliance team regularly audit their fleet. So with all the technology that they use, and I'm talking satellite navigation, real-time GPS and all that, it allows ASIC Couriers to collect your job quickly, travel on the most efficient route and make deliveries on time so they can track it all, see it all.
Brilliant.
Ain't too easy. It's all amazing how it works, and it's in real time so you can see where it is and how far away it is. So whatever your business needs delivered, don't risk it, ace it.
Need an electrician? Ken Hall Electricians. We're qualified electricians for power points, sensor lights, smoke alarms, rewires and inspections. And we're as local as you. So give Ken a call. Ken Hall Electricians, 8364 5855.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
13 minutes to 6. We'll catch up with Nathan Bassett in a few moments, but first we're giving away Showdown tickets.
It's time for 7-Time Timmy's Lucky Sevens.
Yeah, Crows fans, if you're sick of hearing about my Lucky Sevens quiz all the time for the Port Locker Room tickets, well, this week we have a Crows-themed 7-Time Timmy's Lucky 7 quiz for your chance to win a double pass to Showdown. And Peter's going to be our first contestant. G'day, Pete.
Hey, how you going?
Good, buddy. Okay, question number 1, sir. This weekend's Showdown is Showdown number
50.
No.
Close, but no cigar. Nick. G'day, Nick.
G'day, guys.
This week is Showdown number
53.
Oh, so close. Let's go to Nathan. G'day, Nathan.
G'day.
This week is Showdown number
54.
Correct, Nathan. Well done. On to question 2. Which Adelaide Crow or Port Adelaide player has played the most Showdowns ever? 29 in total. So he must have been around a long time. Oh, correct,
Well
Nathan.
done.
Outstanding. Question 3. Who was the inaugural coach of the Adelaide Crows?
Graham Corn.
Yeah, that's correct. Who has kicked the most goals in Showdown history? Kicked a few on the weekend.
Taylor Walker.
Correct. Well, you're on fire here, Nate. Question 5. Against which opponent did the Crows kick their highest ever score? Hint, it was in 2006 at Football Park. It's a Victorian team. There you go.
Western Bulldogs.
Sorry, Nathan, you're going well there. Ken, g'day, Ken.
How are you?
It's a hard one. Crows, highest
yeah,
ever
I know.
score.
I know it's a hard one. I'll try and be quick. I'll go for Fremantle Dockers.
It's a Victorian club.
Yeah, last I checked there from WA.
Shane, it's a Victorian club. They're a big club too.
Yeah, Richmond.
Close.
Oh, no.
Close. All right, we'll go to Brett. G'day, Brett.
Yeah, it was the Bombers.
Bombers is correct. 30 goal, 8, 188. What a score that was. Question number 6. The Crows and Port have faced off in 53 showdowns so far. Who has more wins?
Port.
Is correct.
Wow.
Last but not least, Brett. How many showdown medals has Mark Ricciuto won? Hint, it's between 2 and 5.
3.
Correct! Congratulations, Brett. You have done it, my friend. You get to head along to the showdown. It's a showdown double pass. They're going to be, it's sold out. We've already heard that. So hot to trot tickets they are. Well done, Brett. Congratulations.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We'll do that every day this week to get you to Showdown 54. How exciting.
That was almost exhausting. All right. Well, Port Adelaide pushed the top team to the brink, lost by 2 points. We got the defensive coach on the line, Nathan Bassett. G'day, Bass.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, mate, did you come away thinking, I think like a lot of people, we can beat them?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty strong performance for the most part, and we played our game. I thought it was good to see us get back to that stronger style of footy with some pretty good pressure inside, and I thought we defended and pretty well and created some good opportunities in offence. But the finish behind always feels a little bit worse.
Yeah. So looking at the summary, and I know you guys do so much work afterwards, coding and the like. What do you see in summary that we did really well and stuff we could perhaps do better?
Yeah, I think probably the key takeaways for us, we made a few too many mistakes that coughed up some easy scores. I thought in general the intent was really good, but we probably gave up 6 goals where they're easily fixable. There's always going to be some mistakes in games, but these were sort of bigger mistakes. And then we didn't quite take our opportunities as well as we could have, and then lost the territory battle a little bit from stoppage, mainly in the last quarter. Yeah,
I had a look at that. We lost centre clearance 6-3, and it was almost like in sync. They kicked 6 goals and we kicked 3. And I don't know whether that's directly linked to the centre clearance work, but it just did seem that we lost a little bit around the footy.
Yeah, we had Scooter was struggling a little bit with in the sort of start of the last quarter, so we took him out of the game, and Collingwood have a very strong and deep midfield, and they were able to win that territory battle, and they've been a very good stoppage team all year, and probably that weight of ball moving into our back half, coupled with a couple of unfortunate mistakes, or the Lockie Jones out in the full kick, or Kane Farrell deliberate, or a high tackle, that are sort of 3 goals that we I think are easily stoppable, and then some elite finishing from Collingwood make it difficult.
Not wrong, Jamie Elliott couldn't miss the swine. Hey mate, when you mentioned Kane Farrell, the deliberate out of bounds, how do you, as his defensive coach, how do you talk him through that situation and what he could do, in a different scenario next time?
Yeah, we'd done a really nice one earlier, actually, in the quarter, where he'd sort of fumbled it accidentally through the behinds, and it was as much around him trying to keep his feet. And it was at that awkward space of the edge of the square where, is he inside the 9.5 metres or is he outside of it? And, it's not a fun place when you're running flat out back towards your own goals. But,
not at all.
In my day, it was pretty easy. You just whacked it straight through the point. So
it wasn't a problem.
I haven't been in that situation too often, but it was one of those ones that hopefully we can do a better job next time.
Hey, with a sub, firstly, do you like the sub?
I do. I think it sort of helps you. It certainly keeps the competition a little bit more even, and those unfortunate injuries that impact you early in games don't impact your rotations as much. I think it sort of helps you to throw around a few more different options, and you might shuffle a player in a position. All of a sudden, they do pretty well there, and they stay there a little bit longer.
And then, how do you guys go about picking a sub? And is that a really difficult task every week?
No, not so much, because there's not a whole lot of people that end up falling out as a potential sub. Once you pick the team, and you're probably looking for someone in the best 6 or 7 after the 22, and then once you take out the tall people, and there's not heaps of people left. I know Dylan Williams doesn't feel like an ideal sub, but there's enough flexibility in defence where someone else from the defence can push up, whether it be on the wing, into the midfield or into the forward line, where we thought it would be okay for us.
We've had a few texts come through just about the Drew Dacos matchup. I thought he did a terrific job. The last quarter,
Yes.
did he come off of Dacos?
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. No, he stayed with him the whole game. It wasn't a tight tag at stoppages, but post stoppage it was, and we thought Drew did a wonderful job, and you'll see that he got 5 coaches' votes.
Yeah, it was terrific.
They're all from us. So we think he did a pretty good job on something that Dacos hasn't. No one's really been able to impact Dacos so far. So we thought Drew did a great job.
I agree totally. This week coming up, I believe we've got another team to play. It'll be an interesting game, of course, but it's an away game. DBJ protocols, will he come up? And the guys that came in, like Mackenzie, Big Charlie and the like, they all pulled up, Butters, okay? Yeah,
everyone's got in green in the doctor's presentation this afternoon. Everyone's that played is still in green. Darcy's we expect Darcy to clear concussion protocols tomorrow and be available this week. So hopefully Willie's we can reduce that suspension or get it taken away. But DBJ is a pretty good replacement.
No, excellent stuff, mate. Thank you very much, Nathan Bassett, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
Nathan Bassett, defensive coach of Port Adelaide, our guest. All right, let's go straight to your calls. Charlie.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hey, buddy.
Is that Dave Wildy next to you, is it?
Oh, no, it's Sam Tugwell.
Do I sound like him?
The new Dave Wildy, yeah.
Oh, okay. He sounds a bit like him anyway. So, did you think the Saturday night game was a good game, did you?
It depends on who you're talking to. As a spectacle, I got nothing but praise for it from anybody else that was watching it that wasn't as well invested as I was.
Okay, and I heard you talking about Aaliyah and Jamie Elliott.
That's
they
right,
were two different. They were two different acts. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Aaliyah stepped to his right and then went back out of bounds because he realised he stepped off his mark.
Yeah.
So he went back into out of bounds and kicked it. That is out of bounds.
Yep.
There was nothing wrong with that decision.
Yep.
Jamie Elliott, he's right up against the demographics are all grounds are all different. He's right up against the boundary. He's allowed to sort of step. He didn't leave his line, but I understand what you're saying. He sort of veered a little bit right and just went and he kicked the goal. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, Charlie. It was Cornsey who brought it up and said that technically to the letter of the law, he's saying it's what did you say, a throw in?
Yes.
Charlie, I don't have a problem with it. I thought he was too good as far as kicking goals goes. It was annoying. Doug, g'day, Doug.
G'day, gentlemen. How you going?
Good, buddy.
Hey, just a couple of quick points. Skill-wise, and I'm talking about both teams on the weekend, skill-wise, when I was a young lad and learning the game and whatever, one of the main things I got taught was on the full run, flat out, is to bend down and scoop up that ball with one hand and keep on running. You don't see that anymore. All they're trying to do is pick up the ball with two hands and fumble it like crazy, and then they lose possession.
I reckon the one guy I have seen do it this year, Doug, is Horn Francis, and it was in the wet. So yeah, no, I know what you're saying. We used to train like that, absolutely,
Yeah.
And it was one-handed.
It's impressive skill. Thank you for your calls. 8223 0000. We'll keep taking them. $50 Powers voucher still to give away tonight. It's 1 minute to 6 o'clock. We'll get to the news, and then we're going to head over to England, where the tears have been rather salty, I think, from the Poms. I tell you what, after the Ashes and the rainy day in Manchester yesterday. Oh, we're going to get straight into that next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Adelaide Direct Stationers is more than just stationery. We're one of SA's largest suppliers of tech products, washroom products, PPE, workplace health and safety equipment, office furniture, food, snacks, beverages and much more. We have all your office and business needs in one place. With free next day delivery on orders over $50, plus same day 2-hour express delivery. Adelaide Direct Stationers, serving SA's largest businesses and a preferred government supplier. Visit adelaidedirectstationers.com.au.
It's easy to do business with Duttons, and it's easy to choose Volkswagen's Tiguan Allspace. You've got a 7-seater that's perfect for weekends away, camping trips, and the crazy Saturday sports rush. Tiguan Allspace is the perfect accessory for your family. It's the space and performance you wish you had yesterday. It's easy to say yes after a test drive. Book yours today at Duttons Mount Barker. Go to duttonsvw.com.au.
Duttons. Easy to do business with.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow and 16. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. FIVEaa has hit Hindmarsh tonight. It's hosting Brazil v Panama in the Women's World Cup, with the game to start at 8:30. There's free public transport for ticket holders. SA Health has announced another case of meningococcal disease. It's the 4th in the past week. A 55-year-old man is in hospital in a stable condition. Well, it was back to school today. Norwood International High School was among the last 24 schools to roll out the statewide mobile phone ban. Public high schools were given until this term to research and implement the ban. Principal Jackie Van Ryten says it's good to have consistency across the state.
As a school, we do appreciate that and acknowledge that mobile phones can be really useful and valuable learning platforms, but we're also really concerned about the excessive and inappropriate use of mobile phones and obviously the impacts that, and one of the reasons why we've got this ban policy.
Around $10 billion will be spent buying 20 new cargo planes for Australia's Defence Force. The C-130J aircraft are expected to start arriving from 2027. They'll replace our current ageing fleet of 12 planes. Defence Industry Minister Pat Conroy says the model of aircraft has been the workhorse of the ADF since 1999.
They've been deployed on every major defence operation during that period, whether it's assistance in Bougainville, peacekeeping in Timor-Leste, whether it's the operations in Iraq and Afghanistan, the C-130J, the Hercules have been there.
China has deployed dozens of warplanes toward Taiwan, including fighter jets and bombers, as the island nation prepares to hold military exercises. Taiwan is launching its annual round of army drills aimed at defending itself against invasion. Former Australian Army Colonel Professor John Blaxland says growing tension in the region has wide-ranging ramifications.
We need to think more broadly about the spectrum of challenges between China, the United States and everyone else in the middle. And we need to think creatively about how to manage the increasing competition between China and the United States, particularly as the United States looks to de-risk or decouple and China then imposes sanctions back.
2 blockbuster movies led to a blockbuster weekend down under. Thanks to Barbie and Oppenheimer, Australian cinemas recorded their biggest ever takings for a Saturday and Sunday. Cameron Mitchell from the National Association of Cinema Operators says there are more positive signs on the horizon.
Looking at the lineup between now and Boxing Day, which is just traditionally our biggest day of the year, it's equally as exciting. And again, something for kids. There's horror, there's thrillers, there's something for everyone. So it's a really exciting time for cinema.
And it's bye-bye birdie at Twitter. The CEO has tweeted out the new interim logo design for X as Elon Musk oversees major changes to the social media network. Now turning to 5AA sport, we're heading into a showdown weekend, but 2 faces from West Lakes won't be playing. Crow Nick Murray will miss up to 12 months of footy with a torn ACL, while Isaac Rankin is looking at a month on the sidelines with a hamstring injury. Port's Darcy Byrne-Jones is expected to return for the Saturday night blockbuster after being sidelined in round 19 with concussion. Vice-Captain Ollie Wines says they want to return to the winners list.
We've had an extraordinary run of wins this year and unfortunately now we've lost 2 in a row, so it has been a little bit of a reality check for us.
And Port Adelaide will challenge the 2-match ban offered to Willie Rioli. He's been charged with striking and will front the tribunal tomorrow night. Italy has begun its Women's FIFA World Cup campaign in style, beating Argentina 1-0. And American Brian Harman has broken through, nabbing his first ever major after winning the Open Championship at Royal Liverpool by 6 shots. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Noarlunga Downs, debris on the road following earlier crash. Main South Road in the Southern Expressway exit gridlocked up to Seaford Road at the moment. Hindmarsh Road's closed due to the socket tonight. Manton Street and surrounding side streets. Ridgehaven Burst Watermain North East Road near Shepherd Street, 3 lanes closed. And we've got Canberra's Military Road Grange and Port Road at West Hindmarsh. Turn that Monday frown upside down and try Pork's deliciously easy sweet and sour pork stir fry for dinner. Visit pork.com.au for the recipe and get some pork on your fork. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight down to 6, partly cloudy tomorrow 16, sunny on Wednesday 17, showers Thursday 18. Right now it's 13 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
You can trust 9 News is live and local, while others do their news from Melbourne. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide. Weeknights at 5.
First in Adelaide's 9 News at 5.
Nightly at 6.
And the unprecedented police operation.
We go to some breaking news now, and crews are right now at the scene.
And that's why the switch is on to 9 News.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now, I know a great team and I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. I've known them for a long time. David Shipway is one of the best blokes you'll ever meet. BL Shipway, they've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. And if you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au. A South Australian team you can count on.
If you've had solar for 5 years or more, you might be thinking about electrical independence. Solar tech has had a bit of a glow up lately, so batteries are more affordable and easier than ever to install. If you're not getting the electricity savings you used to, it's never too late to supercharge your solar with a battery boost. So chat to Go Sunny Solar today about how you can make the power shift with our $0 deposit battery plan. Visit gosunny.com.au.
Is there anything more comforting than slipping under a wonderful wool quilt? Mini Jumbuck has been making Australia's favourite wool bedding products for over 45 years. And with wool's excellent natural temperature regulating properties, you can enjoy them all year round. And with factory direct pricing, you'll be tempted by our pillows, protectors, Ugg boots and comfy wool clothing too. For wonderful woolen comfort this winter and all year round, choose Mini Jumbuck, Australia's favourite wool bedding products for over 45 years. Open 7 days in McLaren Vale.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
In some regards, whatever happened today wouldn't really change how we look at next week. You know, we want to win it, so we make sure that, you know, we win it outright.
There's the captain, Pat Cummins, on the back of retaining the Ashes last night. Rowie's still on the sick list. Very shortly we'll head to Hindmarsh Stadium. FIFA Women's World Cup is in Adelaide tonight. Brazil take on Panama. Plus, we'll take more of your calls. 8223 0000.
One of the great cricket reporters who travels the world and is in England at this stage. Bharat Sundaresan joins us. G'day, Bharat.
Good afternoon, guys. Home stretch now. I just heard you talk about the Women's World Cup coming to Adelaide. That did make me a little homesick. It's been a long time on the road. But we're nearly there.
Yeah, nearly there, mate. Look, Australia technically there, and I couldn't help, but we've had a lad, Shane, from Queensland, actually, barracks for Port Adelaide. He's over there himself. He sent me a photo of Manchester today. Is it true? Blue skies, clear?
It is.
How cruel is that?
It's beautiful and blue. I mean, there's a little cloud cover, but it's all, it's foamy white clouds. So, no, it's a beautiful day in Manchester. Great day to be out and about, but that's just the beauty of Test cricket, isn't it? It generally always happens when a game gets washed off, the next morning is sunny and bright. But hey, Test match cricket is played over 5 days. You can't help it. England, if they really were keen, they should have won it in 3 days.
Yeah. Hey, mate, I felt like Australia they stumbled their way to the 2 victories early. They had Nathan Lyon in the lineup then. I felt the game turned when he did his calf, and then you've got Wood and Wokes come into the lineup for England. I thought that changed the whole dynamic.
The first over from Mark Wood in Headingley, it might not have got him a wicket. He had to wait a couple more overs before he knocked out Usman Khawaja's leg stump. But from the time Mark Wood ran in on that morning in Leeds, it feels like the series is different. He just set England on their way. They really missed him in the first 2 Test matches. And you're right in a way that Australia didn't look at their best in the first 2 Tests. But still got over the line. And I think what they did do right was seize the really big moments whenever it was presented to them. At times it was offered to them, like with Ben Stokes declaring on 378 on day 1. But also, other times they just, every time there was a half-an-hour period where they knew it could turn the game around. I thought they seized it. And even on the last evening at Lord's, when Ben Stokes was going doing Ben Stokes things, I thought they held their nerve really well. But yeah, Wood and Wokes as well. I mean, you can't leave him out, like you said. They really have changed the complexion of the series. And yeah, I mean, in a fair world, in a just world, we would be going to the Oval 2-all. But justice and fairness, I don't think have always been associated with sport.
How have you seen, the episodes, as we call it, the Bairstow run out, the Labuschagne edge, it's been quite at times, quite a nasty Ashes series.
Yeah, I think more than nasty, the word I would use is petty. There have been a lot of petty issues which have been blown out of proportion for no reason. I mean, just because England were on the back foot in that in the first 2 Test matches. The Bairstow non-event in particular.
You reckon that was a diversion?
And what has it? Yeah, absolutely. And what has it done? It's turned Johnny Bairstow against his own press or against the English press. The press conference he did a couple of days ago here. After playing a great innings, the 99, no doubt, but he just turned on them. He was losing his, cool with them, and I guess it's just again, we've had so many Ashes series in the past where real controversies would prop up, and there would be proper bad blood between the 2 teams. So this has not been like bad blood, really. I mean, the players have got along pretty well on the field. I still don't think they've had that beer with each other that Brendan McCullum said they won't be having.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone in the Australian camp is complaining about it because Brendan McCullum he's known to have quite a reputation with his beer. So
yes,
I think it's just one of those series. And now already, in the next. I'm glad that the next test is just 2 days away because it's begun the complaints about the weather. Should there be a reserve day in Test cricket? And it's England, classic England, right? When things don't go their way, they want everything changed, forgetting the fact that they're the ones who invented the sport.
I love it. Hey, Bharat, what about Australia's lineup? We went with this incredibly long batting list that didn't really pay off in the end. I think I'm still with having Mitch Marsh in the team. I think he's done nothing but play really well since getting in. But it's a really long list when you've got Alex Carey batting at 8. Is it the right way to go, or should a Michael Neser perhaps come in and just give a bit of variety to the bowling lineup?
I think, as the one guy who hasn't played a test match so far, I mean, there's Marcus Harris as well, but I think Michael Neser has made or he's done everything you need to do to get your place in the side. He's scored runs in county cricket, taken wickets, was a leading wicket taker in the Shield. He's come very close to playing a test, but hasn't really gone through. Scott Boland has been preferred a couple of times. I think it all depends on Mitchell Starc. He had issues with his shoulder. You'll remember how he pulls up in a couple of days' time. And you're right. I mean, Cam Green, purely because he just hasn't looked at his best in the series.
No.
He struggled, to be honest,
Yeah.
with bat and with ball. So, which is what had more eyeballs on the selection gamble that Australia took by leaving out the spinner for the first time in 11 years. But again, we'll have to go and see the oval surface. Even though we've already had one test match on that or at the Oval, it's still just July, and I don't think the Oval would have reached a point where it's starts to break up and a spinner really comes into play. I do expect at least one or two changes, and I can see a world where Michael Neser, I mean, I have to say this, right, as the president of the hashtag Neser must click. but for once, even cricketing logic suggests that he might get a go.
What about the Cummins captaincy? Do you see that surviving back here in Australia?
Oh, absolutely. I think what Pat Cummins has done for Australian cricket, not just on the field but off the field, is remarkable. I mean, let's not forget the circumstances there's best forgotten the circumstances in which he took over as captain 18 months ago when it was so unexpected.
Correct. Best forgotten.
And he's done everything right. The way he's handled himself and the team. Winning series in Pakistan, nearly winning a series in India. Just the way he carried himself in Sri Lanka at a time when the country was in great turmoil. He's just been exactly the kind of man Australia needed as a leader at the helm. One bad spell or one bad test match cannot lead to someone like Pat Cummins and his captaincy reign being questioned. He was the first to admit that he had probably his worst day as a test bowler in Manchester. And he's not going to have many more days like that. It is Pat Cummins at the end of the day. I have no issues with his captaincy. And but again, credit to England. That's the thing with Bazball.
Yeah, pressure.
It doesn't work always. Yeah, and when it does add the kind of pressure that no opposition team has faced ever. So, there will be days like these, not just against Australia, but against all comers.
No, excellent, Bharat. Thanks very much for your coverage, mate. Appreciate it. Get to the Oval. See us out. Get us home 3-1 and we'll see you back here.
I can't wait. I'm also hoping for a 4-day finish with no rain involved so that I get an extra day off before I head home.
Doing a wonderful job, mate.
Beautiful.
Bharat Sundaresan, fantastic to have him on the show. And it's time, though, to quickly cross down to Hindmarsh Stadium before we do go to the break, because we have a massive game tonight. The FIFA Women's World Cup has arrived in town. Panama... Woo! Taking on an opposition who have got a pretty big party group around them. Brazil.
And I don't think Panama are represented by Van Halen.
No.
Well, let's go to Jessica. G'day, Jessica. How are you? What's the atmosphere like, mate?
Oh, my goodness. Look, I know I'm technically at a football game, but to be honest, it feels like I'm at more of a party. It is fantastic down here. We've got this big, beautiful group of Brazilian dancers have just arrived with feathers all over them. They look stunning. They're doing maybe it's the samba, I'm not quite sure. We've got men in Panama hats doing Latino grooves and drummers, Brazilian drummers. It is a fantastic vibe here, and the game doesn't even start until 8:30, so who knows what it's going to be like then.
I'm going to call in on the way after the show, without a doubt. Now,
you should.
Of course, Jessica Braithwaite, you're down there for 9 News. You're going to do the weather report. Is the weather going to be okay for the game?
Well, look, it's been one of those iffy days, hasn't it? Because it's been kind of grey all day and just kind of threatening to rain all day long. But it is actually meant to be dry. Like, you might just see, how sometimes you get like a really light spot, but it doesn't really, impact anyone. There might be a little bit of that, but for the most part, I think we're going to be fine. So that's that's good news. Things are drying out, so we'll show off our beautiful winter weather as well while we're here.
Now, normally the weather reporters, they wear lovely outfits and the like. Are you blending in with the Panama and
mate.
Brazilian crowd, or are you...
Stand a chance. I did take salsa dancing classes once when I was living in South America, so maybe I'll see if I've still got it. Do you think maybe I should join in?
Yeah, a bit of salsa. I like it. Now, here's the big question of the night. The Brazilian team, do you think they'll have a formation of 4-4-2, or do you think they'll go with a...
You're testing me now, aren't you? Do they do a flying V? Is that what they do in football?
We'll go with that, Jess. We'll take that, mate. Hey, thanks very much for the colour and the reporting, and good luck, and hopefully it's a lovely night.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Beautifully done. Jessica Braithwaite, 9 News weather reporter and a good sport.
Yeah, we love that. It's 19 minutes after 6. Try, if you are heading home through High Marsh, maybe try and avoid, because some of the roads are closed off around there. It's very, very busy at the moment.
It would be.
But it is definitely a big game tonight. Hopefully we can view that. It's on Optus Sport tonight, and hopefully High Marsh Stadium looks incredible, because I've seen some photos prior to it. It does look very, very good. We'll take a break. Come back with your calls next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. Each week on the 5AA Sports Show, get the very latest on who's fighting fit and who's falling flat. With 5AA's Injury Reports. It's the absolute latest from both the Crows and the Power. Thanks to Western Hospital, the type of quality care you deserve. westernhospital.com.au.
Today I'm talking to Glenn, who is one of Arbor Vitae's many happy customers. Hi, Glenn.
Hello, Leaf.
When did you start taking Arbor Vitae, and what for?
My mild arthritis had progressively deteriorated, and it was reaching the stage of me being virtually crippled. A friend of mine suggested that I try Arbor Vitae, and I also heard John Laws talking about the benefits of Arbor Vitae, so I gave it a go.
That is the power of radio, isn't it? What benefits have you noticed from Arbor Vitae?
After just the first bottle, the pain went from 8 out of 10 down to a manageable 2 or 3 out of 10.
Are you happy to recommend Arbor Vitae, and what would you tell our listeners about this product?
Well, absolutely. I've told all my friends to give it a go. The secret is to have 2 or 3 bottles till the pain subsides, and check dose that you're having the correct amount.
It's wonderful to hear how much of a positive impact it has had on your life. Thanks for your time, Glenn. Remember, for more info, visit arborvitae.com.au, and remember, always read the label, follow the directions for use, stocked in chemists and health food stores all over Adelaide.
Mum, Dad,
Hey, honey.
I've met someone.
Oh my God, is he a doctor? A lawyer? Is he a surgeon?
He's a concreter. From Adelaide Exposed Concrete.
But why? Didn't you say so?
At Adelaide Exposed Concrete, we're committed to the highest standards of service, design and workmanship.
Finally, we've got a concreter in the family.
Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground, all year round.
We've got Shane from Drummond Golf with us. Shane, probably not a good idea to play golf if it's wet and horrible outside.
Definitely no, Tommy. Wouldn't be a lot of fun either, which is why we think all golfers out there will love our Big Swing Golf indoor simulators. Hey, it's fully endorsed by the PGA Tour and the one and only Tiger Woods, and it's at Drummond Golf Mile End. We have a room full of simulators to play golf and other sports with your mates, rain, hail or shine.
Now, I have had a crack at this and it is brilliant. There's 84 amazing courses to play and 12 other sports you can choose from. So jump online and take a look at bigswinggolf.com.au, then call your mates and head to Drummond Golf Mile End. Shane, thanks so much. We'll catch you for a quick round soon.
Absolutely looking forward to it, Tommy.
Look around your house and yard. If you see old tools, broken bike frames, an old fridge and even that old car, don't look at it as junk, look at it as dollar signs. At Nor Metals, our priority is to give you the best value for your scrap metal disposal. We offer cash for scrap Monday to Friday and Saturday mornings for a range of different steel supplies and car components, including bodies and radiators. Get cash for your scrap at Nor Metals, 255 Grand Junction Road, Ottaway.
Is there a God? What is the meaning of life? Do I actually need unlimited data to watch a few cat videos on my commute? Cute.
Question everything, especially your telco plan. Get the data you need at low prices with Aldi Mobile.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Rowie on the sick list. He'll be back hopefully tomorrow, 23 minutes after 6. Taking your calls, $50 Pals voucher available.
Absolutely. We're going to John at West Croydon. G'day, John.
How are you, fellas?
All right, my friend. The umpiring, what'd you think of it in the Crows game? Not happy?
Well, it's it was the Crows game, but is it just me, or, you know, the game has moved on, and there's one thing that just hasn't kept up, and there's one thing that's been subpar for a long time, and that's the umpiring. And some of those decisions over the weekend in the Crows game, absolutely bewildering. Like, seriously, and the AFL just doubles down and says nothing.
Yeah.
Right? To be quite frank, I'm probably at a point where if this continues, I'm going to start to think, why am I paying membership fees, right, to go and watch substandard umpiring, right, when we're supposed to be watching an elite sport? It's probably, I'd actually say, officiating, the AFL has probably got to be one of the worst sporting, in terms of sports, the worst sporting officiating there is out there. Out of any sport, it is just subpar compared to the product that we should be watching.
John, I think that's hard to disagree with, actually, and I think we make it harder for our umpires with constant rule changes, and now 4 umpires. And like I said, they're not getting into the positions that they told us they were going to get into.
That's right.
Got some photographic evidence of that on the weekend, and it's not picking up the things we thought it was going to pick up. So, yeah, I'm with you, John. That's a good call. G'day, Ken.
Yeah, how you going? Goal kicking woes. I watch blokes when they take the mark in front of the goals. A lot of them, they spin the ball in their hands, and you get people like Peter McKenna and Tony Lockett. They never did that. They never changed their grip once they lined up. Some of these blokes spin the ball round and they're not even looking down where their hands are back on the ball. That could be one of the reasons they miss a lot. The other one is, Timmy, when they practice training, they've got someone standing in front on the mark, or when they do warm up on a game, they never had anyone standing in front. But having someone on the mark could put you off a bit too, like these sort of things, do they?
Yeah, they do now, and they also have these cutouts, and they're around about the 6'3" height, and they have to kick over those when there's not enough assistant coaches to help out. So they do have it, Ken, and you're right, because kicking a goal at training with nobody on the mark is not reality.
It's not the same
so
thing.
you've got to get as close to reality as you possibly can at training. So they do that, Ken. So cheers for that. Yeah, Pete.
Hello, Kevin. How are you, mate?
Good, buddy. Good. You're looking for a new look in the midfield.
Yeah, I reckon he would go well there with his good kicking.
That's
kicking that he's got. He'd put it on the chest of Tex and all those guys and wherever he played.
That's the Irishman.
The Irishman, yeah.
Yeah, Keane. I reckon. I reckon he's.
Because I wanted to ask Cornsey that, but he wasn't. He's gone home.
Yeah, well, Pete, he's keen for Keane to play as well. So there's 2 Keens.
Double Keane.
A double Keane. G'day, Nick.
Hello, Tim. Timmy, in regards to the changes that were made in the last quarter by Port Adelaide, and especially in the midfield, I don't understand that. I'm a bit perplexed. Simply, until 3/4 times, they were in front and they were doing quite well. The biggest woe there was the fact that they weren't kicking straight.
Yes.
I would have thought they would have addressed that more so. And also, when you start the last quarter, you play many games. That's when you really get out there and you're going to stand really firm for the first 10, 15 minutes just to stop anything that's coming at you so that you can take control of the game again. I would have done a bit more talk in that direction and kicking the ball and keep the status quo in the midfield. They were winning. They weren't losing, so there wasn't a need for a change. That's my opinion.
Yeah, good call, Nick. I think they needed to fight like the end of the earth in that first 10. He's right. Because Collingwood, they take away your energy by getting that fast start.
Yeah, they do.
And they do it well in the last quarter when they're sort of close at 3/4 time, and they've done that so many times against other clubs. So I felt like if we could fight them and just fight them in the trenches for half a quarter and try and get the first goal, I felt the game would swing our way. The fact they were able to go inside and get 2 quick goals within 4 minutes, you could feel the momentum swing.
Let's just quickly hear from Craig McRae.
There's just moments. And we want to manage those moments better than the opposition, and we practice it. And you can't practice kicking a goal from the boundary line from 45 metres out and you're down on the scoreboard. You can't practice that. You've got to do it in time and trust that you've done the work. And funnily enough, we finished the game and I didn't speak much. I said, "What do you want to talk about?" And they talked about these things, about managing these moments and being present in this and this spirit. It's an incredible thing to have when you have it. So we'll nestle in this one. This is a big win.
They've got spirit all right.
And Jamie Elliott is an exceptional kick for goal. That's what I learned.
No question about it. 29 after 6. We'll catch up with Graham Corns in studio next.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
Talking about weight